I can't see chat. It's literally just subs. All I see are subs. What the fuck, man? The channel record was a level 30 hype train. Bro, this is absolutely insane. You ready for this?
I'm so proud of you.
Don't be lazy. Subscribe to GHAZZY today.
Did you seriously eat more chips?
Yeah, I give me that.
You fucking piece of shit! What the? Well, we just broke 15,000 subscribers. Fucking Christmas time! You're using it without the thing! Like, I'm not even using my offerings at the moment. Good. But like, you should be keeping distance. Ooh, divine ward. No! Ah! Fucking feed me. Shove it down my throat, okay? Man, I'll get on my knees if I have to. Let's go, dude. How's the gamer dead?
Really
is it bad? Boom! Like this. Oh my god, there's no way! What the fuck? Ah! Bye everyone, my wife and I have dinner plans for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Because apparently I'm just gonna be here forever, Mako. Forever! 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3. No! 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 4, 3, 2, 1. No! No! 4, 3, 2, 1. It's over! It's over! Oh man, it's over.
Come on, just be happy, okay? Be happy.
It's over! Over! The same. Yay! How long did the subathon go? Like 29 days or something? 29 days. The hot dad is back. The hot dad, okay. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take that. Twister League? Oh yeah, I definitely think I think a lot of people will play Twister. Like just straight up. Straight up, dude. 100p. Radier with 3 months prime. Thank you. What is this? What's this? I hate this pop-up so much. Let us use MTX and multiple characters. Hmm. What is this? Heavily overestimating twist, and it shows you never played the build. Oh. What are fluxes? Some new stuff we get with the Runes of Elderly. Did you just wake up or you sick? I just woke up. Brother, I went to bed at 7 a.m. Went to bed around 7 a.m. I fell asleep around 8 a.m. Good morning. Well, good morning to you too, sir. Humble Verdi and Limeness with the subs as well. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Choo-choo. Is real to play Summoner PoE 2 after PoE 1? Is this real to play Summoner PoE 2 after PoE 1? Yes. Now people think it's good. I can't. Yeah. Can't you choo us? And then you'll start Pokemon, but we'll get Chayula build guide? Yes. Here's the list of builds we're going to be making. So that we'll explore, and if they turn out to be good, we'll make a build out of it. That's the current plan, at least. You on minions, if you're doing if you're doing a build, thanks. Yes, they'll be posted on Ice Events. You can type exclamation my builds for that. What time is it there? It's 5 p.m. now. It is 5 p.m. I don't think Raven's Flock will be good to make a build out of till we know the information on it, and I don't know what information we'll have on it yet. New skills, some new stuff with the Kalgura and stuff, but just some new support gems outside of that. Well, Infernal Legion is still gonna be there. Infernal Legion is still gonna be there. We'll have a Twister leveling guide and whatnot as well. So that's gonna happen. If you're playing PoE 2 for the first time, what mini build would you recommend for someone who doesn't want to click too many buttons? That would depend on which builds we'll be updating, but I mean, most of them does really well. The Infernal Legion stuff will require you to weapon swap all the time, so there's that. It's a bit annoying. Outside of that, we a lot of minion builds. I wouldn't do the wolf stuff though. Why I don't play Gemlin minion build? Because I haven't made a Gemlin that's competitive with the other minion builds. Maybe that'll change. We'll see. But for now, that's the case. Ebigs or Ebigs for the sub as well. Thank you, sir. Thank you. 6 months in advance. Sheesh. Well, thank you so much, dude, for the support, man. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. The idea that there'll be a new Spectres? Probably. Oh, fucking hell. I gotta wake up, dude. Morning. T-Rect with a subscriber to the Prime. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Fucking hell, man. I gotta wake up, dude. Fuck me. Just a heads up for you boys. Today will be a slightly shorter stream. Because after today's stream, me and Darth will be fixing the Tavern Talk podcast for tomorrow. So we'll have a shorter stream today. Little stalling and whatnot, and then yap a bit about the patch notes, and then we're gonna go through the build list, and we'll see if Lola's just around, and we'll can do some preparations and planning with him. Minion splash or melee splash with us, or yeah, maybe. I love when all the clickbait titles come out after patch notes. Yeah. It is what it is. Real question is what we do with the real question comes down to what we do with the Spirit Walker. I kind of want to do like a minion army, but We don't know which one is going to be the best yet, right? So one step at a time, right? Uno step at a time. That's the plan. One step at a time. Looking at your ritualistic summoner for maybe using it for neg rarity farming. Is still workable or not really? That should work. Old, is there any auto bombers and one button builds that are good? Yeah, sure, there are plenty. I haven't kept myself updated too much with non-minion builds, to be fair, but the rage minion build I played, you don't really need to press buttons there. There's some changes happening to that, though. We'll be updating all of it before the league launches, obviously. About trying Shaman commanding range minions, do you think that's going to be legit with the melee splash now? I mean, we go to Druid. Am I blind? Druid. And we have Rage Totem, Raging Specters. This one right here. Raging Spectre, Shaman endgame build. This one I played among the most. It's running the Wasp Spectre, but we ran Infernal Legion to clear with it. But we're no longer going to do that because of the Infernal Legion nerfs hitting Spectres the most. It will be really good for Tame Beasts, but not for Spectres. So instead of doing that, we're going to be running the Melee Splash, for example. So there's some changes happening. Yeah, I'm currently not using 7TV because 7TV is borked. I've turned it off for now. Doable to make a strong Wolfpack minion build with a Druid. I have a Wolfpack leader. That's the one I played the most last league. Only 7TV Knight is fucked. You have a link to that? Because I removed the old one. What's the new one? I tried reinstalling it yesterday. It's still borked. Maybe I just took to the same one. Down range melee minions, even with nerf like that. Has to be something there. Probably. Yeah, I tried reinstalling it yesterday and it was still borked. Well, is that... I just need the web extension. If I enable this and I refresh my stream, look at this. I don't get a chat window. I can't. Yeah, I can't chat. Yeah, but I mean, remove from Chrome. And then if I refresh, now I have my chat. But where do I download? What do you mean download? I mean, I'm literally here and I clicked stable version. That's the one I did. Or recommended. Add to Chrome. Okay, that works. Thank you. That worked. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. 7TV. Do I have to change the settings and shit now, or what? Refresh my Twitch board. Well, I mean, I see the 7 TV emotes again, so. So what is this emote? I don't want to change the name of someone into an emote, because I'll just spam the chat up with that as soon as I mention his name, so. I'd rather don't do that. Okay. Anyways. Hi. How's everybody doing? Ranker is way better and support 7 TV and BTTV. We already have that frog emote. Hmm. 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 Hmm.
PoE2DB says 4.5 hours. PoE2DB is guessing. And the more logical conclusion is they release the patch notes.
Why are you clipping this? Ay, 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 ay. Oh. Anyways. Trying to spy my best ES recharge delays. You got it to half if calculus right. Yeah. The ES stuff, dude. Holy shit, man. All right, let me read this Reddit post. You guys are heavily overestimating twisters, and it shows you never played the build. For someone who actually plays twister builds since point 2 and always level at least one twister character per league, this league at level 2. Twister's fun, feels good, and it's kind of strong. That being said, I decided to make some tests on Twister League starts, and I really don't know where all the Twister must be nerf discourse is coming from. Let's talk pros and cons. Comes online really early. You only need 2 level 1 gems and everything else just extra. Built like this feels really good to play. Mapping is really smooth. You'll never have any problems just mashing through trash mobs. Twister can shotgun and melt bosses if properly positioned. Works with almost any class in the Ascendancy. That sounds OP to me already. Cons. Extremely gear dependent after Act 4. Bossing after interlude sucks ass if you can't properly position the boss to get shotgunned by all twisters. Very squishy at low attack speed, you get lots of hits trying to set up 3 whirling slashes. Can't reliably get the elemental ground without uniques or lots of setup. Does not make the build OP, it makes the build viable, but still want to address some arguments made by the community about this build. It trivializes the campaign. First of all, there are a lot of builds that trivialize the campaign, even on League Start. Told you saw a guy that died beating his world record on Twister who made the assumption that the build was busted for campaign. If you actually saw the video, you'd seen that his run was basically perfect RNG wise. If you want to trivialize the campaign, you'll find lots of builds for that. Comes to line too easily, so there are builds and builds. Some will come online level 1 and work for the entire campaign, and others come online at interludes. You only have to and you'll only experience them on maps. Look at Prada's Abyssal Lich, it's way too OP. Saw this one yesterday and I was baffled. This was an uber endgame build that cost thousands of divines to even come online, and most definitely should feel powerful for the sheer amount of time and dedication you have to put on it. But about after the campaign, this is where the build really starts to fall off, and you need some good gear to get you going. Starting in interludes, bosses and trash mobs get more tanky, and this translates to maps as well, and I'm 100% sure of that, what I'm talking. Start a Twister build right now in Soul Self and compare your clear speed in Act 1 to 3 and in Act 4 maps. Day and night without proper gear. Conclusion, it's a good build. I'm not going to sit here and telling you Twister's trash. No, Twister's great, a very reliable build to League Start. It's all of that people are saying. Now if Twister discourse gets settled. You think a melee minion build will be good with melee splash and rage? I would hope so. At least that is the plan. At least that's the plan. There's a monk tech that makes them OP for minions. Well, I made several videos about it. It's the selfless remnant bug getting fixed. That right there. Yeah, doing a companion build? Yep. That's the plan. Oh, fucking hell. I think melee minions are good now. Rage melee splash will go crazy. Well, there's pros and cons to that, right? We are losing the capability of running Infernal Legion for easy clear because of the nerfs to it. So we kind of have to do melee. We have to do melee splash, right? Which means they have to hit for the splash damage, right? Which is fine, but it also means that we are now incentivized to gem swap for bosses. Remove the melee splash for a single target damage scaling. Now you're incentivized to do a gem swap. Not everybody likes that. You don't have to, but it is recommended. Just saying. SRS buff and take minion tag. Made a good build with melee splash. More SRS, more attack speed. Did they mention raiding spirits at all? Nope. I don't know. You don't swap that? No, obviously not. Are you going to play tame build? That's the plan, yes. That is the plan, Mr. Fugard. We're going to play a Pokemon character first. That's the plan. That is the plan. We are going to do that first. You're not going to play Twister? I mean, I'll likely level with Twister, right? I mean, we're most likely going to level with Twister till unless Lolash has another idea. We're probably going to level with Twisters till we get the minion stuff, to be honest. Reckon that with ES being gutted, that gearing a minion witch will have much higher barrier to entry? No, we're just going to have to look at other ways of scaling the defensives. Not too concerned about it, to be honest. Melee splash. On Lich. What minion first comes to your mind? I mean, the cocaine wasp build that I made with Rage. No matter which ascendancy you're playing. But wasps with melee splash is the first thing that comes to mind. Obviously. Thoughts on Pound's Chonk? There's a lot you can do with a Chonk. So here's the thing that people don't really realize. And that is if you use Soft Spire, if you use this on an Infernal Legion tamed beast, it makes it so that chaos damage from hits with supported skills also contributes to flammability and ignite magnitudes. It deals 40% of fire damage as extra chaos. This applies to Infernal Legion. It says chaos damage from hits is, with supported skills contributes to it. The damage as extra chaos applies to this, which means that if you get a tame beast with AoE and all damage can ignite, well, there you go. Like, that's it. That's all you need. 120. Well, you'll have 182% of damage as extra chaos from the Ascendancy. So either chunk will be played with Infernal Legion, or it will have, you know, the whole shebang with Catal's Rejuvenation to run Cultist Archers, which I think is going to be really dope. Your thoughts on Facebreaker? What Ascendancy would you pair with it? Probably Martial Artist. I think the Facebreaker looks really cool. What's Chunk? Chunk is Acolyte Chiula. What's up, Purple Trade? How you doing, dude? Same lottie with Unatals and the other Breach lineage. It is Frosty, yes, but the last couple of leagues we have played Infernal Legion to be the top performer. Infernal Legion got nerfed. Tame Beast got a more multiplier. The damage difference between Infernal Legion before and Infernal Legion now, like almost no difference. Also, he's made a good run with Wolves from Pounds, which is a nerf, which will be good for leveling. Do you have a link to that? I would love to see that. I think we'll need to go to Narnia for Zoomancer. Don't know yet. We will be figuring it out in the coming days. Like for me today is I'm only having a bit of a shorter stream, and then I'm going to prep the podcast interview because tomorrow we have the Tavern Talk with Mark and Jonathan. My plan is to start with I want to start Spirit Walker for the companion tomorrow night. Yes, correct. Like I want to start with the Spirit Walker companion build for obvious reasons. I mean, everyone's expecting me to do minion stuff, so obviously we'll be checking out the new stuff. And then my second character is likely going to be Acolyte Chiula, also known as Chonk. The minions are gigantic working companions, yes. What level can you start using companions? Well, I mean, in Act 2, you get access to the Tame Beast. You'll need more than that, I believe. 100% more would translate to about 20% max life damage. Infernal Legion 3 was 25. Atrium, that is at level 20. How do you think the linear scaling will go after? Very doubtful that it'll be capped on that. But that's the general take. And if it doesn't scale, then it's only a very small damage reduction. When it was 84% more, exactly. Make a Sue Spirit Walker, zombies. Called Workers. This build will be called Sue Worker, Spirit Walker. The Sue build is SSF friendly. We don't know till we're done fixing with it. We'll have to take it one step at a time, right? Access Tame Beast in Act 2. Well, they made it so that the Tame Beast was available at the end of Act 2, right? That's the change they did? Pretty sure. I might be wrong. Someone correct me, because I'm pretty sure you can get it in the Dreadnought, like level 30 so area. It'll be at the end of Act 2. Early Act 3. Yeah, it's last areas of Act 2 or start of Act 3. That's where you can get it. The earliest, that is. Are we level the chunk? I mean, I'm very much in favor of the... leveling with Twister. I mean, we can do this. PoE 0.5 Twister leveling. So we can find something. There is the world
Guys,
record.
what's going on? Snoo here. We have a lot to talk about in this video. In the world of Twister, much has happened in the last week. Normally, I don't make news-related content.
The
but if it's
Messiah.
gonna be this close to home, I think I will make a video talking about it. I got some interesting things to share with you, sort of behind the scenes, what's taken place this past week. Many of you are aware already, most of all, that the new Spirit Walker Ascendancy featured by GHAZZY included Twister gameplay in the end game and has some Ascendancy points that are going to be extremely synergetic with Twister. It's gotten a lot of people excited about that. I already talked a bit about that in a previous video, but then also on top of that, and no less important, I would say, we have a complete 180 in terms of perception of how good Twister is, especially leveling. And that's thanks to the background footage here put on by a little known content creator named Guy That Dies. He is a bona fide world-class speed running streamer who streams basically every day, potentially the best builds in the game. You know, builds like grenades or Demon Mommy. Obviously amazing fast build that everybody already knows is really fast. Well, he decided to, after much deliberation, I guess, take Twister seriously for once. And I've always wondered what it would be like in the hands of an honest-to-God guru, speedrunning guru, what they could do with Twister, how fast they could run. Because I just knew that there was a lot of potential there, as clunky and as vision-oriented gameplay as it is. That in the hands of somebody truly technically gifted at the game, somebody far better than myself, that they would not necessarily smash records, but put on some very respectable times. Well, even I underestimated it because they smashed records. Apparently, Guy That Dies beat his own world.
What's the reason to speedrun into endgame? Well, a lot of people take that as a lot of enjoyment from it and having that as their thing they do, and that's fun. And when it comes to speedrunning for people that are not racing, it's kind of nice to get so good at the game that you can run through the campaign extremely fast, because the campaign is like, we just want to get through it once you've done it multiple times.
World record grenades run by a full 5 minutes, talking level 1 to maps with partially ascended but mostly 100% completion. And then he beat the record again by an additional 5s, and that is the background footage you see. So since I'm using a lot of his footage and we're putting him on blast today, I'm going to feature his content in the description of the video, both the Twitch channel and the video that this is linked directly to, so you can check that down below. But anyway, that's the intro of the video. That's what's gotten a lot of people very excited about Twister. The combination of the new Ascendancy reveal, the footage, in-game footage from GHAZZY, the Spirit Walker Ascendancy, as well as the sudden shift in perception, because results are everything. And if somebody can actually come along and smash records with a particular skill archetype, it doesn't matter what their perception of it was ahead of time. Now they think it's amazing and maybe even deserves to be nerfed. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Most notably, the interaction between ice-tipped arrows and frost nexus. So we're going to talk about a lot in this video. I'm going to feature a lot of Guy That Dies footage in the background, kind of link it up, splice it out, starting with Act 1, and then we'll kind of move into Act 2, 3, 4, not 5, but the interludes, and then, yeah, it'll be nice, informative.
This will be a good video to watch.
Insofar as recapping the last week, I figured it'd be nice to share with you guys a little bit of background information, some things from my own perspective that's kind of fascinating as all this was going down. It so happens a couple weeks ago, prior to all this world record breaking stuff, prior to the reveal, I decided that I should get actually decent at leveling in the game to try to become something of a speedrunner. Not a legit speedrunner, but you know what I mean. Just try to get a lot better at it. And I knew that would pay dividends in the end, because I would, you know, continue playing PoE 2 and we'd have more seasons and more experiencing the campaign, but also mainly because my answer for how Twister performs in the early game has been more like, oh, hey, it's fun. You like vision gameplay, right? You got to press a few buttons, but hey, it's fun. Like the 1, 2, 3 whirling slash, it starts off slow and clunky, and you kind of feel that progression in real time very quickly as you go through the campaign. I like it. Don't you like it? Well, that's not a great answer, really, for a lot of people who just want a more solid answer on performance-related things. People who would like, for example, an in-game, or not an in-game, but a leveling showcase to show, you know, a full run-through, level 1 to maps, for example. And I've never done that. And I thought it would be nice to do that for myself. Well, maybe I don't have to do it now because we have somebody who's a lot better than me doing it for me as of now. But anyway, I decided that I would get decent at speedrunning. And so I was hanging out in Twitch chats that I wouldn't normally be hanging out in, like Guy That Dies Twitch chat. This is way before the reveal and way before he even took Twister remotely seriously. In fact, the interesting thing is he was saying Twister or Spears were trash at leveling, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I mean, he would probably admit to that and that he was gravely mistaken in that assertion now after the fact, in hindsight. But his chat was frequently asking him about leveling with Twister. Again, this is before the Spirit Walker reveal. And I found it kind of strange how many people were asking about Twister. And I might say a few things in there because I knew a little bit about leveling Twister. But for the most part, I kept my mouth shut. It's his chat, not mine. And so I just kind of lurked about and was just surprised how many people were asking about it. Then we had the reveal. And people started clamoring him. I mean, slamming him with questions about leveling Twister. And I don't know why, but he apparently decided to revisit it and give it a real try. And I think, he discovered the whole ice-tipped arrows tech thing, which you're going to see in the background here pretty soon. And upon realizing how strong that was, realized that Twister was actually really, really fast if you played it a certain way and built it a certain way. And so, this is a more technical leveling skill. It requires a lot of moving parts, definitely a lot harder to play than grenades, a lot more stuff going on. And I suppose with a few practice runs, he just stumbled on the conclusion that it was, well, not just good, but a world-class skill archetype for the sake of speedrunning campaign. At the same time, we had this sort of creator cup thing going on with Crimson Cast. Some of you guys know about him. And since Crimson Cast was aware that I was trying to get good at speedrunning, he decided that we would figure out a way to build a narrative to justify having me do a little speedrunning thing. And that narrative would be, let's pit the 2 worst leveling archetypes against each other. Monk Quarterstaff versus Huntress Spears. And so me and Corbin would battle it out, 1 versus 1 was the original idea, with the 2 worst archetypes. Well, that narrative shifted pretty heavily. Not because Twister suddenly ended up being good. This sort of narrative shift happened prior to that discovery. But it shifted because of the revealed Huntress and Monk Ascendancies. And so it went from, let's just for fun put the 2 worst Ascendancy archetypes against each other, leveling wise, instead to, well, we just got these 2 classes featured in the reveal. And people are going to want to see what they look like leveling. Even if they're not so great, they're going to want to see for themselves.
True.
And so let's actually just kind of showcase that and build a narrative around that. And that's how that race went down. And so that was really fun. I greatly appreciated the opportunity to do that. My performance was decent, I guess. Nothing like what you see here in this background footage here. So that's a little bit of extra information for you guys. I figured it'd be fascinating, especially that bit with the race. And you guys can probably imagine that it's been a wild experience for me to see all of this stuff playing itself out. I find most fascinating how players judge a build so quickly just based on the absolute top-end performance from a top-end player. Now that Twister is the world record-breaking campaign speedrun,
Yeah,
and
it's like
that's
not
literally on
changed.
paper or in video form, suddenly everybody has gone from like either thinking Twister is garbage or mediocre or clunky or not knowing anything about it at all to thinking it is the actual best thing to play regardless of the ascendancy you're using. And that's what everybody's going to try now. And it's not going to go well for a lot of players. I can already tell you that. It is very much visionary gameplay. Look at all the skills that he is using here. And keep in mind that if you are a world-class gamer, it doesn't matter whether you're pressing 2 buttons, 5 buttons, 8 buttons, 12 buttons. It's all the same to you with just a minimal amount of practice. You're going to be really good at it. He's running Frost Bomb.
I mean, it's what, Frost Bomb, and then you're doing 3 whirling slashes, and then ice tip arrows, and then sending off the twisters. Am I missing anything, or that's like the play, right? Oh yeah, barrage as well, of course.
Every 0.5 TL
0.5 Easter dealers has an expiration date. Barrage for bosses. Yeah.
He's running War Banner. He's running Barrage,
Freezing Mark.
Frost-tipped or Ice-tipped arrows. He's running Freezing Mark, Whirling Slash, and Twister, and maybe even one or two other things. Are you going to want to press all those buttons when you're leveling in the campaign? Maybe not. So just a little bit of word of warning to you guys to help set expectations. I see this happening in real time where everybody is thinking of this like Twister is now the GOAT, and some people are going to go into it having a good time, being made aware of
Lord
awesome
settle with a
leveling
40
skill,
Mustangs on my
game
dude.
skill, but not everybody. Not everybody's going to have a good time with this. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of different ways you can set up Twister, different ascendancies, different endgame setups, and it turns out there's actually a lot of different ways you can level a Twister build as well. Conventionally, I've always done the split double spear setup, one side with an offhand, one side without for Dance with Death, Whirling Slash focused on all skill speed, attack speed nodes, and then the other side would be a spear that could be slow, it'd be fine, it just needed to focus purely on raw damage. Ironically, that's exactly what Guy That Dies decided to do, while at the same time I was learning how to speedrun and decided to instead adopt the Wolf setup, which is the conventional speedrunner tech, where the offhand set is just a talisman, where all those points are devoted to sheer movement speed. We're near the sprint movement speed nodes and all that stuff, so it gives me roughly 30% increased movement speed, regardless of whether dodge, rolling, sprinting, running at this stage in the game. The only problem is you do a little bit slower Whirling Slash.
Why don't I see Pestily in the chat? I had to fix my fucking... I had to fix 7TV, and my chat looks so weird. Wait, what? Why don't I see his chat? Now I see it, because you don't read chat. Oh, okay. Look at this. Look at this. When you tag me, it's black. Look at that. I'm used to it being red. Fuck happened? Why is the highlights not red? I get these weird things. 7TV might have changed. I mean, I had to reinstall the shit. Errands. No, highlights. Mention highlight color is in red. What? I'm so confused, dude. I can't, like, my chat is just fucked. And, like, not only that, Pestily, when you mention me, look at this. Someone mentioned me, I get this weird little fucking symbol. It looks like a box of the message as well. This never happened before. It's so weird. Check Dark Reader extend. Oh, shit, Suleiman coming in with the 20 gifts in the channel. Well, if I turn it off. Let me refresh, see what happens. Thank you so much, Suleiman, for the 20. That's not changing shit, by the way. Just want you to know that. There's a new download. Yeah, I just got that one, personally. Because like before the 7TV fucked with the whole, I couldn't see my chat. Well, I couldn't send a chat message, right? So I got the new one, and ever since I did that, now I can't, like, now I have this weird, everything looks weird. Yeah, I did reinstall it. I just don't understand why the mentions are... I'm so confused. Is it colliding with, like, better TTV or something? Is that what's happening? Oh, fucking no. I am so confused. All right, whatever. I'll just get used to it. Average Chrome problems. Clearly. Say hi to my daughter. Hi, Fugat's daughter. Hi. You try to go for minions as a start in the campaign. You're going Twisters too. I mean, I'm gonna talk to Lolash about it, but my understanding right now is that Twister seems to be the to go to leveling, right? At least that's what I'm seeing. Try changing your mention style. Yeah, I just don't want my name to be black because I can't fucking read it. Snipe, Skeleton, War, Garbill had the same problem in Microsoft Edge with the 7 TV extensions. It's not tied to one browser. Fuck Twisters. Yeah, that's how I feel. But I think I will use it till I get to like Act 3 and then I go full minions from there. Dark Reader extension. Yeah, but the Dark Reader is not the one changing the way the chat does. Like with the boxes and stuff. All right, where do I go for this? Hold on. Do this. Click here. I click on settings. And I can go to highlights. And do what? Because it says here, mention highlight color should be red. So why do I get these boxes? Like why do I get this when it should be red? I saw red earlier. See, this is how it's supposed to look like. That's how it's supposed to look like. Why do I get this shit? Dark Read is not creating this. Dark Read is just the colors. It's not it's not creating this box. I don't want this fucking box. Let's do better TTV. But I turn that off.
Moo.
Is it at versus no at? The box is built in the mod control for Twitch chat. For fuck's sake. Can I just uninstall BTTV then? Where is BTTV in my extension list? There. Disable. See if that solves it. Refresh. All right, tag me now. Nope. Nope. Look at this. Look at this. I can't fucking read this. It's never been like this before. Fuck, man. All right, where do I change this fucking setting? I don't even know where to go for this. Check moderation tab in 7TV. Go to settings, cog, then chat highlights. Chat highlights. Okay. Okay, try tagging me now. Aha! Aha! Oh, thank fuck, it's working! Okay, magic. I'm getting too old for this shit. Anyways, so let's ride back time. And let's see. Wait, let's rewind time back to the point where Pestity said, "React harder, streamer." Hi, Pestily. Nice to see you in the chat, man. How's the hospital treating you, dude? Hope you're doing well, man. You asked, what's the hardcore minion leveling build? Wait, was that? Is that today or was that that was yeah, that's I don't see the fucking timestamp. Okay, so I don't know what the hardcore one will be yet. Obviously, I think that Disciple of Russia will be really, really good for energy shield stuff, but Chronomancer will be fucking crazy. Like, actually crazy. Okay, now my chat is all red. You guys stop tagging me, okay? Hey, boss, hated here. Reinstall BTTV. It says it wasn't that well if you still want it. It's fine. It's working now. Except my name is black. I don't know how to change my color. Wait. Where do I change my name? My name color is purple. Why is it black when I'm getting tagged? Makes no sense. Sorry, YouTube chat. I'm trying to fix the tech issues here on the Twitch chat. Anyways. What's wrong with black? Because my background's black. Because my fucking background's black. Okay? That's why I have an issue with it. God damn it. The light mode. Like the shirt today? You like the shaper? Shaper shirts? Yeah? You're getting old, you're a young pup, BB, grandpa. Well, welcome in, Lord Settle, Mr. Grandpa. I like having you around, bro. But yeah, I think like the hardcore stuff, we'll see when the builds gets designed. Because I think Disciple of Arashta will be a really comfortable minion gameplay through the campaign. It's really strong. It offers you to maintain playing Energy Shield better than any other class in the game right now because of Navira as well, and fourth teaching to drop 1 second of the base Energy Shield recharge, which was the main thing they gutted in the patch notes, right? So I think that Disciple of Rashta allowing you to have the Rushan, Kelari, Navira, like the Kelari, sorry, those three lets you muster scale. You get the defenses from it. You get good offense, good campaign. I think Varashta will be very, very comfortable in hardcore. If you can make Chronomancer fit in a minion build, then Chronomancer will have even better defenses. Outside of that, it's just your generic builds. It's just that, you know, in the past, you could be playing a build and say, hey, I'm just going to put Energy Shield on it, and now I'm immortal, more or less. You can't really do that anymore. So I think that for hardcore, it's like a Chronomancer Varashta kind of decision. But I mean, you can make good tanky builds with the other stuff as well. But I think that any builds on this side of the tree are going to run like deflection, evasion stuff, and kind of scary playing hardcore with that. I mean, I've done it in PoE 1, played face acro, evasion, EK Nova builds, and well, if you got hit too hard, you just died, you know. So there's that. But I think that for comfortable hardcore, I would probably look at Disciple or Chrono. I mean, even if you did decide to play Chrono, you would level through the campaign with Disciple, because this shit is just too fucking OP. That's about it. So yeah, I would level with the Disciple if I played hardcore, probably. And then I would either play Disciple or Chronomancer for endgame. Torx for the T1 sub. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Try clicking on the badge next to chat box. What badge next to chat box? What do you mean badge next to chat box? Oh, which for live? Well, there's several ones. Brother, I don't have a badge next to. What do you mean? There's no badge next to chat box. What are you guys talking about? You know what? Let me just call this guy. Pick up the phone. Hi.
I did.
What
I
fucking
picked up.
badge?
Hello.
What fucking badge?
Go to twitch.tv/GHAZZY, open your stream, and then in the chat box next to your message, click the chat identity button, and then you can choose what badges and colors you want to be.
Oh, there's a badge there. Oh. What about this? But I already have purple name.
What would you do without me?
But it doesn't show up on a fucking dashboard. But I mean, this doesn't tell. Like, I already have purple name here. My name's already purple.
I don't know, dude. 7TV. I'm blaming them. Ask them.
So the motherfucker is an armor stacking.
Hey,
If
go.
I do that, oh look, now my name's purple. Giga Chad, motherfucker. What? But if you're having issues, since the bill's doing so much damage, why is it suddenly purple now? Man, I am so tired. It's 10 a.m. in the morning. I just finished reading the patch notes at 8 a.m.
I reached through the internet and fixed it with black magic and voodoo. Yep.
I don't know. How much did I drink yesterday?
I don't know. You started pretty early before the patch notes. I don't know if you kept drinking through the whole thing.
I don't like it. It's shit.
Also, hi, GHAZZY. Hi, chat.
Anyways.
How's everybody doing? You good?
Yeah.
You excited?
Hi. Very.
Are you so excited?
So excited because it's Friday. Friday.
We got to get down. Yeah.
Get down, yeah. And you know what comes after Friday? Saturday. And you know the day before Friday is Thursday. I learned that from a cool song some time ago. I wonder if that's too old for some people. Source. just Google most disliked song on YouTube. Anyways, where was I? Did you agree with my statements to Prestily? Level with Arashta, endgame either Chronomancer over Arashta for hardcore? Theoretically, at least.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable take. We'll have a Varashta leveling guide updated and a Varashta endgame guide up. That should be hardcore viable. But it's very hard to say. There's a lot of ES hits coming in.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. And armor and evasion are both getting buffed. I have a new build that I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
Maybe Pestily can playtest a new build for me.
In hardcore. You're gonna make Pestily playtest a build in hardcore for us?
He's an Aussie. He's a god gamer. He won't die. He'll be fine.
I've seen him fucking pump the rank leaderboards in hardcore.
And it only requires one common unique. It's not Witch. It's not Witch Pestily. There's one line in the patch notes that made me go, ooh, new build. Chopper Chaber got buffed.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You're not. No. Pestily, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. No. Don't get dragged down the rabbit hole.
It's not ES, it's armor. It's armor life. Right? Chopper Chaber got buffed. Which means that Giant's Blood, two-handed mace in one hand, scepter in the other hand. Big life. Lots of small passive bonuses.
So you're going Titan.
I'm actually legitimately excited for like theory crafting a Titan minion build.
With
But
Chopper Chaber.
to be with Chopper Chaber. But to be completely honest, the strongest, in my opinion, the strongest minion build that we're going to have this league is definitely going to be on Chonk. After actually having access to the patch notes, I am pretty much all in on Cheula.
Oh, I said that as well. I was like, bro, it's over. Because I mean, even if it ends up being an Infernal Legion meta, you just get an AoE all damage ignite soft spire on the Infernal Legion, and now the Chonk deals the most damage anyways. It doesn't matter what build it is. Chonk will just be the reign supreme. Right?
Yeah, I think Chonk Minions is going to be king. Almost certainly.
Once I get the end game of farming, I'll level Gemlin and make some whack Gemlin build. I like the sound of that. Just don't get baited into the whole Chopper Chaber fucking Titan Don't do that. You have to
I mean, if
level
you're
with
doing- if
maces
you're
in the
doing
first few
gem-
levels.
If you're doing gemling, you can absolutely do Jabba Jabba too.
Yeah, Gemini might actually be better for it. Because you can upgrade a sub 55 level weapon so you get more damage from it if you want to have the tactician mod, but I mean it's not going to be like a high tier damage from the tactician. Gemlin maybe.
I know you'd go gemling for sure if you were going merc minions. The
Yeah.
+2 levels, additional quality, and the ability to make one of the hardest problems to solve when you're playing minions but you're not energy shield is that all of your minion skill gems want like 165 intelligence, but then if you're trying to wear evasion gear or strength gear or armor gear, you also have to try and get like 160 of that attribute as well, and then you also have to cap all your resistances. And the ability for you to like go all in on strength and wear armor gear, but be able to run level 20 minion gems, or go all in on dex and wear evasion gear and still be able to run level 20 minion gems, is super impactful for buildcraft.
Hmm. Hmm. You think Giant's Blood and the new Spirit Walker then is a 60% increased damage on weapon for companions viable? You know, it's funny that no one's really talked about that. To do the Giant's Blood setup that you were talking about with the companion build. No one's really mentioned that.
Once again, the problem is attributes, right? Like in PoE2, suffixes are tight, and they're going to be even tighter for minion builds this league because we have new minion rings that have new minion affixes that are going to they're likely to eat up slots that we can normally get dex or int or resistances in.
Yes,
but gemling, we don't have to worry about that.
Tactician has watch how I do it. That's 25%. Spirit Walker is 60%, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 60%, but only to companions.
Yeah. So like Trusted Kinship, Giant's Blood, like the stats are worth it.
Honestly, if you're doing that route, and like we revealed this on our text document, so smart people have already seen my plan. And I hate saying it because it's going to make it more expensive. But Spirit Walker, if you want to do the give two-handed strength damage to or give a two-handed weapons damage to your companions, the best way to do that is go Spirit Walker, take Trusted
Polymathy?
Kinship. No, you from nothing, the unique diamond. You from nothing onto Zealot's Oath, I think is the keystone.
Oh, you want Lord
And
of
it
the
allows you to-
Wilds.
It allows you to pick up Lord of the Wilds and use a talisman. And that also opens up the possibility of having, Pounce applying a mark for you and but
That would, yeah. I think that is a better play. I mean, that's what me and Crip was talking about, right? Days ago. Because like the Giant's Blood strat, you go Polymathy through it to help with attributes. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 points and 5 to get the notable 7% increased attributes. But yeah, because I mean, with companions, you don't need flat spirit, you need percent spirit. And Lord of the Wilds cuts to 50% less spirit, has like no impact on the companion capabilities.
correct.
The talisman can roll ridiculously well, and you get levels for the pounds. Not that it matters too much, but weapons very easy.
And on top of all of that, the change to Trusted Kinship, the 30% reservation efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing some napkin math, so don't trust this 100%. But based on my napkin math, if you chose the right beasts, you might actually, in an optimized endgame, be able to have like 6 or 7 beast companions. Right? Like a boss and 5 or 6 other beast companions.
The downside.
Yeah, I know, I baited your chat.
The downside of the talisman is Sylvan's Effigy. The Giant's Blood will allow Sylvan's Effigy.
This is true. And you could get +3 levels from Chubba Chabba. And it might be something to
Yeah,
explore
no,
seriously, because
Chubba
3 additional
Chubba.
levels.
Oh, wait, maybe, actually.
It's
Chubba
3
Chabba
levels,
would,
dude.
well, okay, I mean, Chubba Chabba would like literally be like the initial play with it, right? You would go Giant's Blood for Chubba Chabba till you get a big dick fucking 2 animes, right?
You need... So the problem with Chubba Chabba companion stacking is you need 300 int and like 180 strength, I think it is. What are the requirements on Chubba Chabba? Because they're tripled. So I think it's 300 int and 180 strength. And then on top of that, you would need the dex to be able to run level 20 companion, which is like 160 or something.
We're not using Chubba Chabba.
Right. So it is tough
Yeah, we're
to
not using Chubba
justify
Chabba.
that
No,
for
no,
a
no.
companion build.
No, we're not using Chubba Chabba. No. Nope. You're not getting 300 int because you're gonna have like a little bit of int for the support gems, and you're gonna have dex and strength, mainly strength. I still think that Sylvan's Effigy with this setup might actually be the play. You have to use Sylvan's Effigy to get that many tame beasts, right?
To get that many tame beasts, you're gonna have to go Sylvans.
Yeah, and then you can't do Lord of the Wilds because you can't use a unique scepter together with it. It's only for rare scepters.
Correct.
So you would go Giant's Blood. So that basically is the play. So you have Trust of Kinship, Polymathy, Giant's Blood. Those are like the 3 main things. And then we'll see what the skill tree does to the coming companion nodes, right?
Yeah, I think there's going to be 3 flavors of Spirit Walker, personally. I think there's going to be a Spear, Sylvan's Effigy, stack minions, or stack companions, right? Where you get as many beast companions as possible with a wolf pack. And you go all in on companion damage. And you have like a gigantic zoo army. I'm excited to do this with rowers, by the way, because Viper, somebody we talked to at GGG, in 0.2 set me the challenge of making the rower do real damage. And I tried and I couldn't. Like, to make it a carry minion. I tried real hard. But now we have melee splash. And that's a possibility. So I want to explore that. So I think that's going to be one version. Then there's going to be a version that goes just with Trusted Kinship. So you end up getting 2 companions plus the bear and the wolf pack. So it'll be like, wolf pack, bear, boss. And then you run a from nothing to get Lord of the Wilds. You run a rare scepter. And you just have those as your core minions, plus the Asmeri Wolf from... and on a rare scepter, so you get the level scaling.
But you're talking about an intermediate, like a stepping stone before you go Giant's Blood. And you mean to tell me that the stepping stone low budget, quote unquote, is going to be using it from nothing duel? Like, I can tell you right now that that's going to be so fucking expensive.
No, it'll be a different variant. So there'll be.
You mean staying rare scepter?
Yeah. There'll be a version where you go talisman plus rare scepter. You have a lower number of companions, but you get the rare scepter scaling on your boss, your bear, and your wolf pack. And it'll be a lower number of minions, but all of those minions will be significantly more powerful because you're using a rare scepter and you're using a talisman to grant them a shitload of damage. So that'll be one variant. Then there'll be the variant where you go like spear plus Sylvans and you stack the shit out of companions and you just have a ton of them. And then there'll be a version that is probably stacking quite a lot of attributes so that you can run Chubba Chabba plus a rare scepter.
I don't think Chubba Chabba will ever be played.
Sylvans.
Do you think so?
Dude.
Yeah, it's a lot of levels, but it's 300 intelligence. It's 300 intelligence, bro. Well, you could get reduced attribute requirements on the tree. That gives
you can get
12%.
yeah. Well, so the other thing that you can do is in the Chubba Chabba, which is a two-handed weapon, you can have up to 3 sockets, and you can do like a 60% flip of attribute requirements to dexterity. So
Is
you
that
will
idols?
lose.
Because you can't forget about
No, I
idolatry.
think that's runes. I think it's runes, which means you'll lose a little reservation efficiency, and you'll have a little bit more pressure on your resistances. Like I said, that's going to be an end game version anyway. We're talking end game versions of the build here.
I mean, before that,
But
you
I'm pretty
basically
sure
just
it
run
was.
a spear and a scepter.
Yeah, before that it's just spear and scepter, and that's what
Yeah.
like all companion spirit walkers will start spear scepter, right? When you it's one of the reasons that you.
Well, I mean, basically what's going
they're
to
gonna
happen
link
is
us
you're
to
going to
stuff.
play spear, twister, till you have enough stuff to add minions. And the only thing that's happening is that your offhand just becomes a scepter at that point. That's the only thing that's happening. And you might just use a scepter before that just for allies and presses to damage or something. Does that even apply to you?
You'll start.
I thought about
No,
that.
but you can run a Maliceptor from mid act 2 or something for some crit scaling.
Oh.
But yeah, so you'll start spear. You'll start spear buckler because that's what you start with on the beach. You'll play spear buckler until you get to the point where you're going to swap. So you'll keep an eye out for a scepter that either gives you like an omen scepter or a resist scepter or something with some minion levels and minion damage, and then you'll swap into companions. I still think the best place to swap to companions is likely the beginning of Act 3, like sort of midway through Act 3 when you do Bog
Yeah.
Witch, when you get access to Wolfpack.
Probably after the
Right,
second
like right after you
ascendancy.
fight the monkey. Yeah. Right after you fight the monkey and you do Azak Bog and you do Trial of Chaos, that's probably going to be the best swapping point based on
Okay, but I mean,
my understanding.
we are going to be able to upgrade the Chober Chabber. Let's say that that's the case, right? Even with attribute requirement drop and whatnot, that is still competing with the 60% of the damage of 2 enemies versus the levels you get from Chober Chabber, because that's literally all it does, right? It just gives you, that's the only thing Chober Chabber does, just levels and the extra damage. The damage will be, pale comparison to a proper level. But if the damage is not too much, then the damage you get from the damage difference between an upgraded Chober Chabber versus a proper rare one has to be compared to the plus level of minion skills you get from the Chober Chabber, right? In comparison to the attribute requirements, because a proper staff, mace would reduce the necessity of 80, 70 fucking intelligence. I still think that
Yes, and
you would be better off not putting that intelligence pressure on you and just using a rare scepter.
so let me. So you can convert, right? So let's say you get a Chobba Chaber with 2 slots, which is the default number. You can convert 40% of the requirements over to Dex, which means that you only require 150 strength. Like, this is assuming Giant's Blood, right? You only require 150 intellect and 80, 90-ish strength alongside your dexterity. And then for that like investment, you get a 2-handed weapon that'll likely have pretty decent. It won't have like giga rare mace, but I mean, if you look at
you'll use a trench timber before you have the attributes for Chober Chabber. Well, before you have the attributes for Giant's Blood, you'll run a trench timber, obviously. But I mean, or you do a spear for the damage. Like those are the 2 options there. It's the same. It's the same argument, right? Levels versus damage for the 60%. But I don't think that Chober Chabber will be worth the troubles. You're losing idolatry scaling. You're losing the damage, and you're losing suffixes on your gear that has to go attributes now. That is going to make resistances problems harder. I mean, you can have like a companion with a purity PoE, right? But I mean, that's one thing. But or any purities. But
I think it'll just be easier just to put a fucking two-handed mace there instead of a Chober Jabber, like a rare one.
What you got to remember, Gazzy, is a two-handed rare mace has a strength requirement of 160 or something, which means that if you use a two-handed mace, you're going to need 480 strength for an endgame base. Like the endgame two-handed mace base has like 165 or something strength requirement. So either way, you're going to need a lot. And the thing is, you need to stack some intelligence anyway, because you need intelligence to use a scepter. You're going to need at least 95 or 96 or something for a level 20 Sylvan's Effigy.
Hmm.
And then you're going to need like intelligence, because you're probably going to want to run like 1 or 2 clerics plus Pain Offering, because Pain Offering is such a powerful buff for damage. And a level 20 Pain Offering is 150 int or something as well, because it's a pure int gem. So I think Chober Jabber is actually going to be legitimately better than a two-handed rare mace. Sure, you're going to lose some of the damage
you
from
can roll
cartons.
reduce attribute requirements on a rare mace. That could be pretty big.
True. But even at 35% reduce, you're still looking at needing 360 strength. Right? Because you go from 480 requirement to, well, actually, no, it's less than that.
You go from 163 strength to 105 with a top roll attribute requirement roll.
Which is and triple by Giant's Blood. So you'd need 315.
15. Yeah.
Whereas with Chober Jabber, you need 300.
A stat that don't do shit
but you're
for
already
you.
gonna need it.
Strength still benefits you.
Int gives you a bigger mana pool, which makes mana sustain easier. And you need int for both skill gems and for running a scepter. Right? So
Yeah, we don't
like,
need attack speed now.
No.
The 315 is doable to begin with.
Although
actually, it's less than 315 because we're taking polymathy, obviously. And that's 12%, an additional 12% reduced to requirements. So it's actually significantly less as well. I'm not saying Chober Jabber is not an option. I mean, we'll have to POB both versions, but you know, then we're comparing that pressure with why not just use fucking rule or any spear. What the fuck is it called? The series. What's the series spear called?
you're fucking. It's not in POB at the moment.
Oh, it's not in POB.
No, none of the 0.4 uniques got added to POB yet. They'll be pushed with the most. I was talking to Local ID about this the other day. They're going to be pushed in the next major POB update.
Got it. There's a lot of damage in there. And I know Crip has been very, very vocal about Starconia for defenses.
Starks is a very strong defensive item, but it's also going to cut into your potential damage scaling.
You know, I mean, for defenses, I like it. Speaking of Crip, he was talking about Living Lightning.
I saw that in the patch notes. I have in my notepad, the notepad I sent you, I have a thing that's like revisit it. I'm so excited to play bow minions.
Where is it?
Gazzy's gonna play bow minions. Tactician bow minions, Living Lightning plus periphery.
Oh, the Tactician bow minions is Living Lightning, periphery. Got it. Yeah. Because I mean, the problem is getting as many minions out of it as possible, right? Because what Crip was saying, I was talking about Oracle for all the temp minion bullshit stuff, and try to get 9 of them out every second. I mean, I think Living Lightning is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to play around with Living Lightning again, for sure. That's also something that I was using in Disciple of Arashta leveling. Right, like it's in our Disciple of Arashta leveling guide. You force some lightning damage onto your Fireball Living Bomb combo to get Living Lightning out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Like if you do the living lightning focus, like combine it in with the living bomb and actually do SRS combo with it. I think that would be really cool to do.
Yeah, I explored that build last league and it didn't do enough damage. I wasn't happy with it, which is why it never got published.
Hmm.
But turns out living lightning was
wait.
bugged.
All attributes sold by Sirius Helm from the temple. Vertex, well, Vertex, ignoring all the issues, don't care about any attributes of Giant's Blood. That makes sense, but it also is such a horrible helmet outside of gem requirements. Like that's all it does. Like the levels are gone. And the attribute requirements only applies to gems actually, so I'll take it back. It's not even gear.
It can roll one of two variants. It can roll skill gem or it can roll gear.
Oh, it can roll gear. My bad.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that. But like the levels are gone from it, so it's kind of eh. But yeah, sure. You can use a vertex and you sacrifice +2 level of minions and a bunch of other stats to remove the attribute situation. That it is an option. I'm not saying it's not an option, but you know, you'd have to take a look at it. For a high-end game, sure. Lose 2 to gain Scepter? Well, it's not to gain Scepter, because you'll have a Scepter no matter what. It's Vertex versus putting pressure on getting attributes and the rest of your gear in your skill tree. If you run the Vertex, you don't need to spend points to going down to Polymath, or Polymathy.
But yeah, so I think there will be 3 different variants. I think all of them will work. And I think one of them, you have attribute pressure, but you get big Carthus bonus from being able to have probably Chubba Chubba in your main hand for the +3 levels plus damage that you give to people. There'll be the Lord of the Wilds variant that doesn't use Sylvan's effigy and has a lower number of beasts, and then there'll be a version that doesn't do either of those two things, just runs a spear, possibly at Zeri's spear, possibly a well-rolled rare. And yeah, you can either run that with a rare scepter or with Sylvan's effigy. It'll be one of those two things.
Another bonus to Sarkonia is that it's under 55, which means it suffers no downside trade-out when we're in foraging. You'll get a little bit of ward and a higher elevation from it, but that's about it, right? I think that in a softcore environment, I would rather look at Vertex than Sarkonia. I think from a hardcore perspective, Sarkonia becomes a very attractive choice. That's my take on the Sarkonia topic. I don't mind the Chober Chabber. I think Vertex is going to be very cheap this league. So as a result of it being cheap, we could try to get an equipment attribute requirement removal with Corrupted with level of minions. And now Vertex becomes a really good choice. Like a really good choice. It saves you points on the tree as well. Like it actually might be the play for a high-end game, because Vertex is not going to be a very common item. Kicking out with a subs gift. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you. We had Gecko, Atroxy, Suleiman dropping 20 earlier. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. And Lord Settle as well. Thank you.
The other thing to keep in mind is that they've added 60 plus runes that can be created by destroying a unique to make a rune that gains some of its properties.
Yeah, we have to be careful with runes due to idolatry.
Yeah. Yeah. But those runes destroy a unique and then give you some of those unique properties into a rune that you can socket into things. As good as idolatry is, there is almost certainly, like, if one of the runes can affect Starkonias and can yoink the like double presence radius, where 100% running a rare helmet and putting on Starkonias, or if it can yoink the damage conversion onto, or damage flip into companions, right? Like, we will take that and we'll run a +2 traditional minion helmet. We don't know. All they've told us is there's 60 plus of them. And we have no idea how they're going to work. So, engage with the League mechanic early and often, and find those runes and tell us. Well, actually, I suppose I'll probably just dig through the data mine. I don't get to play the game. GHAZZY will be busy having fun playing, and I'll be sitting there fucking reading pages and pages of information on PoE2DB.
On Reddit, someone has a chunk video using 2 Mjolnir and Dory's Undoing. Interesting. I don't think that's something we'll be doing. But no, I mean, Spire of Ire, I think Crip was talking about this one in one of his videos, actually, with the flat chaos damage. It's actually not bad either. That's a lot of damage. I mean, you have the Spire of Ire, you have the Series Rule, the Series Staff, Spear. You have Trench Timber, and those are like the options, or a Rare Spear. Those are the options leading into Giant's Blood version, or leading into From Nothing, CO for Talisman. Right? That's kind of like one of the big things. I think that personally, I like the Vertex idea. Because if Vertex is cheap, then we can kind of reliably just get a bunch of, like for endgame higher budget versions, get a bunch of equipment removal, removing attribute requirements and equipments, and get a corrupted one with plus level of minions, and suddenly you're losing 1 minion level to get, Chober Chabber equipped for free, or compare that to a high fist damage mace, and you no longer need to worry about attributes. You don't have to take polymathy or these extra attribute requirement stuff. Like, all of this traveling goes away. So it looks like this, right? At this, and you get this. Not needing to go polymathy is a big fucking deal. Vertex plus 1 minion, yeah. I said this like 1 hour ago. Yeah, I know that the Vertex was mentioned, but we were humoring other approaches. I think that if Vertex is cheap and you get a +1 corruption, it's probably one of the better versions for the endgame style. Before that, I just don't think you run Giant's Blood. I think or the Talisman. So I think in the early stages is you stay with the Spear in the story, or you compare Spear to Trench Timber, and then, if you do the Talisman thing, you run that till you can afford the From Nothing. Or if you go on Giant's Blood, you run that till you can get a Vertex. Probably. Vertex only gives plus skills now? Yes. That's why Vertex is very likely going to be very cheap. And because of that, we can get one with the modifier that we want, which is removal of attribute requirements of equipment, and then corrupt them for +1 level of minions. Now you only lose 1 level of minions. That's what Number Salty was talking about. Where do you use From Nothing? Well, From Nothing would be for Zealot's Oath. If you do the Talisman setup, this will prevent Sylvan's Effigy, and you're running this to pick up Lord of the Wilds. Lord of the Wilds doesn't allow you to use unique scepters, which means you can't use a Talisman with the Sylvan's Effigy. So this is a different build, which was Lois was talking about, where you have a rare scepter and a Talisman. You have fewer different companions, but they all do more damage, because the counter here is you have a rare scepter. This is why I think Giant's Blood is better, because you can have the massive damage from a proper 200 weapon that is competitive to something like a Talisman, but you also maintain Sylvan's Effigy as an option for more minions that will then scale and benefit from the damage from the 200 weapon you're using, which I think is worth more with this specific approach, especially with the Trusted Kinship changes. I also like this approach with allowing us to run a Chober Chabber, because I think Chober Chabber with a Vertex to remove a lot of the attribute requirements, or all of them actually, would present us with a very attractive approach in terms of both damage provided, but levels for across the board for all your minions. And then you compensate the lack of a rare scepter modifier with modifiers from the actual tame beast you are running with. That's about it.
Yeah, it's going to be the toss-up between which of these versions is going to be best is going to rely on a couple of things that we don't have information on yet. So, if Sylvan's Effigy the wolf empowering howl and the wolf command ability are both very good, then being able to have a whole zoo of companions with a ton of spirit reservation that allows you to run like 5 or 6 different companions and a wolf pack, that's going to be very, very cool and could be very, very strong. But you are going to lose the levels from a rare scepter. You are going to lose the minion stats from a rare scepter to be able to do that. So we need to know how strong the wolf stuff on Sylvans is to know if Sylvans is going to be the play or if a rare scepter is going to be the play. So depending on which one of those is true, depends on whether Giant's Blood is very good or Lord of the Wilds is very good or neither is very good, right?
If we don't run Sylvan's effigy, we are 100% doing Talisman because we get pounds.
Yeah.
And that is worth way too
exactly.
much.
Yeah, and we can still run. Yeah, if we're not using Sylvans, then you get the huge damage from a talisman. You can add in pounce, and you run a rare scepter. But if we are using Sylvans, then we can't do Lord of the Wilds, but we could do Giant's Blood. But that'll depend kind of on how tight attribute requirements are, how Chobba Chabba upgrades with the runesmithing. So, you know, there's questions that we just don't know the answer to and can't know the answer to until we get some information on like a full list of mods available on rings, what the boss damage looks like and how they're scaling it. If there's been any changes to like the Wolfpack minion stats. Like there's a bunch of things until we have that information, it's just impossible to know with 100% certainty which is going to be the best approach. But that's what GHAZZY's for. He'll playtest it all.
Someone in chat said that can someone in Twitch please tell them Chobber Chabber doesn't even have levels anymore. It never did, but they're giving it now. That's what's happening.
Yeah, it didn't have levels. Now it does. That's why I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, it would be fun to use Chobber Chabber because I used it once, and I used it 12 years ago.
Yeah. PoE 1, it used to actually be legitimately like a not terrible weapon, like in the original
12 years ago,
too.
And then it was shit, and it has been shit for over a decade. So it's gonna be fun to see that actually be used again. Couldn't you get roughly the same damage with a plus companion damage on a spear? Top end is 119% of weapon damage. Compared to the levels, maybe, but you also have to keep in mind that you're still getting the damage from the mace. And the mace is below level 55, which means you can Conjure and up it. And by upping it, you get more damage from it. And now that damage plus the levels damage has to be compared to what you can achieve with a one-hander. And I think that if you don't run the Sylvan's Effigy like we just talked about, you are going to run from nothing on Zealot's Oath and run the Lord of the Wilds without moving there with a skill tree. So prior to that, you're probably running something like Trench Timber or a one-handed spear for the damage. You can maintain a rare scepter, and then as soon as you can afford a Zealot's Oath for Lord of the Wilds, that's when you enable the whole talisman approach, right? So that's quite important as well. So the text on the patch notes, it said, after unlocking unique Verisium rune forging in Act 3, you can upgrade the base type of unique weapons and armors that drops of levels lower than 55. And upgrading these unique weapons will have a higher damage, and upgraded armors will have increased base defenses as well as runic ward. And that's about it. So that's why we can use that on the Chobber Chabber.
Companion nodes. Running pure companion nodes might be the move.
Well, we are very likely going to run the pure companion nodes, yes. That's why I don't want to do this with a tree. I don't want to take this travel. Like, I want to avoid that. And the way we avoid this is running a one-handed weapon till you can get a from nothing on Zealot's Oath, which allows you to spec into Lord of the Wilds. And that change allows us to have a jewel that enables it. A well-rolled Undying Hate might be the play in game. Possibly. How good is Wolf minion build? It's very good. minor changes to it, right, Ash? And the Cocaine Wasp build needs to get rid of Infernal Legion and run Melee Splash instead, and we have to look at the Rage support, I guess.
Yeah, we should talk about our existing builds, because I'm sure there's plenty of people in chat who have played our existing builds and are interested in knowing how they've been impacted, right? Because that's a pretty important thing to discuss. I went over the patch notes. So, the Wolf Leader build, the build that scales Pounce Wolves, got friendly fired by a bunch of changes that impact other builds, right? Like
the level of
balance
melee
changes
skills.
that were like, yeah, level of melee skills. Some of the rate, like Bartez Vengeance, got slapped down a little bit. Pounce cooldown got slapped down a little bit because of the like Temporalis Pounce bullshit build. So like we took some hits, but we also gained access to some really powerful new tools. Unfortunately, we don't have all the information on those tools yet. So Melee Splash is a big thing, right? So the Wolf Pack build, one of the things that it did have a weakness with was not having like AoE clear. It relied on single target damage for clear. If all of your wolves are now doing melee splash damage, that helps a fair bit. We also lost a little bit of rage scaling, right? Like with the
commanding
rage node got changed. So we're definitely going to see some damage cut off based on the exact way the build is written now. Right now I'm writing, so at the moment I'm in the process of writing up the Twister and Twister into Companion speculative league start. And then I'm going to go through and do the leveling builds for everything, and then I'm going to go through and do all of the endgame build writing. But I'm pretty confident that wolves are still going to work in the same way that they worked last league. For Raging Spirits, we lost Commanding Rage, or we lost some scaling from Commanding Rage, and we lost the Infernal Legion tech, because Spectre Infernal Legion specifically got hit pretty hard.
So we have to use Melee Splash. It's a gem swap incentivizing for bossing, but yeah, we'll just use the Melee Splash. Yeah. I still don't think we use the Rage support for them though, because it's just increased attack speed before they get full Rage, and we're going to have them full Rage.
Yeah. We use the Raging Warcry and passive rage generation over time tech to generate rage for our minions, so you don't want to sacrifice a support gem to use rage support on minions. So I think the Raging Spectres will still be absolutely fine. You're just going to go from using Melee Splash, or from using Infernal Legion to swapping in Melee Splash for the clear process, and that should be absolutely fine. I'm pretty confident that that's going to be very good. What else do we have? We have the Disciple of Irrational Leveling. Disciple of Irrational Leveling is still buttery smooth and super comfy.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully this league will have hopefully this league will have a good quality end game. I am leaning towards temp minions with the buffs to Living Lightning.
Yeah, SRS Living Lightning will be really cool to do. I would love to do that.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably try and get an end game guide out for that with Living Lightning and SRS. I think it'll work a lot better than it did last league. It was close last league, right? Like that was one of the things I league started. It was close last league. GHAZZY saw me play it. You guys saw me play it on stream. It worked quite well. It just didn't quite have the damage I wanted it to have in the end game.
Yeah, but that was with the level 1 Living Lightning that never scaled, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it had a terrible Living Lightning. It was bugged. It was like overriding Living Lightnings. It was not playing nice. So I think Disciple of Arash will be much stronger this league and will push an end game temporary minions SRS Living Bomb Fireball combo build with Jins and muster scaling, which I'm pretty excited about. What other builds do we have? PZ Lich.
I mean, the PC Lich offensively is the same thing. Diala's nerfing, sure, but what's going to happen there is the defensives. Like, all of the builds we have that ran Energy Shield needs to be looked at on the defensive scaling. Like, that's the only really thing that's happening there. Like, how do we survive with the new changes?
Yeah, yes. I mean, I think it's still gonna be fine most of the time, because we didn't use a lot of the cheats that people were doing with Energy Shield. We definitely took a hit, don't get me wrong, but in most situations, we weren't sitting there getting hit a lot. We were getting hit once every now and then, and our Energy Shield was recharging. So, I mean, we'll see. But we do have to address that for sure.
Disciple of Varashta is probably the easiest way to get that. Then we have the Chronomancer as another option, but Disciple of Varashta gives us muster scaling, Navir as well, fourth teaching, 1 second off on the ES recharge.
Yep.
Big. So
He's big, big, big.
it's like the main things.
So yeah, all of the stuff that we have up right now has some problems that will need to be fixed, but I'm confident that all of those things are still going to work just fine.
Yeah.
Just need to adapt a little bit.
Do you plan to have the new build format for all your upcoming builds or just the popular ones? I mean, Lolash and I are pretty much on the same page there. We're going to have the .build files for every single build we have, including leveling builds. Like, that's going to be the staple standard in the community. So we're going to have to, no matter if we like the work or not, it doesn't matter. We're going to make sure that happens.
Yeah, on the .build thing, obviously it's a brand new system. It's likely to be quirky, and we need to develop internal tools at Icy Veins to make sure that we have it so that we can produce the best quality .builds that we can. To start with, I know that I was talking to Local ID, and his plan is to have all of the functionality available for .builds pushed in POB before launch. But we don't know exactly how long before launch, and we don't know when we're going to get the passive tree. So the .builds may not be available day one, because once it's available, we have to actually do them.
How much will it cost a chunk build file? Not behind a paywall, question mark.
Like $2 per passive point.
Passive point, okay. I like that. Yeah, no, they're all going to be free, boys. Don't worry about it. Will there be in PoE Vault? PoE 1 build guides for Icy Veins ends up on PoE Vault. PoE 2 build guides ends up on Icy Veins' main website.
Which is also poevault.com/PoE2.
Here. This is where all my guides will be. Our guides, rather. Free-to-play build in this economy. I've said it before. I've said this for over a decade now. All like knowledge and information like this should always be free, in my opinion. That's my genuine take. And as long as you guys make me able to do this full time, I will continue to do so.
GHAZZY, thanks for everything.
Goes both ways.
End of the day, if you guys love the work we do and you want to support us, there are ways to do that. We're both streamers on Twitch. You can subscribe. You can give us Prime subs. There's donation links. Like, there's ways to support us if you want to, but you will never, ever, ever have to. Ever. Guides will always be free.
Exactly. Max Aethera, yeah, you can go wolf form early before switching minions. The leveling we have is using wolf form. The leveling of the wolf grid. As the premier pay-to-win streamer, you will have to pay GHAZZY $1.2 million to unlock the ability to use his build. If you want to know what gear he has, that will cost you an additional $250,000. Right.
Kappa.
Thanks so much, Ultimantis, for the sub. I appreciate you too, man. Local Identity talked about
Explain
PUB
group
update
and
time
stuff.
schedule. That's what Lawless was talking about.
Yeah, there is a huge update being pushed to POB 2 before launch is the ideal goal. But don't hold him to that. That's just what he wants to do. Development is tricky. You can have the best intentions. But yeah, we should see a big update pushed before the
Yeah. Could you
Before
upload a
the
YouTube video with a Portuguese translation explaining how the minion monk is activated? Can't other people send
Kickers
in
can
translations? Kikis is here. Check Portuguese. Okay, thank you, Kikis. Thank you. I don't know how that works. Kikis handles that. Right. Where I can pay for your minion bills. The YouTube auto generates dubbing. The YouTube. Okay. There's a guy in voice, Lolash. Lolash is my right-hand man when it comes to updated guides for only PoE2 nowadays, actually.
Yeah, I still do D4 stuff, but since GHAZZY wants to focus on Warlock, which makes perfect sense, it's way more in his theming. I've taken over the Spiritborn stuff with Cash Larond, who helps him with Warlocks. So
yes, a little bit of shifteroo happening there on the D4 stuff. Max Deer with a gift. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, it is a Mr. Lolash. The one and only, the brainiac behind the Warcry Chieftain build in PoE1, as well as the cheerleader support, which we turned into a dominating blow cheerleader in PoE1, for example. And, after a year of doing shit for free for me, we were like, you know what, let's hire this guy and actually have him get compensated for the work he does. So here we are. That fucking time, let's be real. But yeah,
the only
that's
AI
Mr.
GHAZZY
Lolash.
uses to make builds is me. I'm a robot deep boot.
Do you use AI to make builds? Okay, so here's a fun and embarrassing situation. So what happened is we were updating the D4 guides, and I was so fucking tired, so we used an AI to do a spell check. And, as I copied in the stuff into the guide, I accidentally included a sentence that said the AI's response to it was so bad. And we found out like within 30 minutes, and then it was fixed. But it ended up on a fucking Reddit post and Twitter. And dude, people are so retarded, it's insane. People were like, "Oh, they're using AI to write the guides." I'm like, brother, you can clearly see it was just a spell check, and the fatigue kicked in. It was only there for 30 minutes, and that shit blew up. It was fucking crazy. But yeah, no, we don't use AI for guides now. I used it for spell checking once because English is not my native tongue, but that happened. Lola just trapped the guess's basement. True. AI hysteria. I mean, sure, but I mean, you can't make a build guide by using AI. It would just not be correct. Like, it's just you can't verify it. Of course, we would never do that. That's fucking stupid. There's an idea party out with your subs at some point. Let's all run mini builds and see how ridiculous it gets. That would be fun. Yeah, I see AI situation getting out of hand. DM new vid. Spell checking is AI and is illegal. I've seen some AI builds. They're hilarious and bad. That's funny. Tavern Talk is tomorrow at 11 p.m. CEST or 2 p.m. PDT. Today is going to be a shorter stream because tonight me and DM are going to be setting up all of the stuff we need for the podcast tomorrow. That's the plan. So today's just a shorter stream. We're not going to PUB much. It's mostly just yapping about it. Like, if we make some notes, let's see if I do this. And we can talk about Spirit Walker notes from yapping. From nothing. Can't spell nothing. ZO, Lord of the Wilds. For talisman play, rare scepter, giant blood, Chober Chabber with Sylvan's effigy. And then we have consider corrupted +1 min implicit vertex to combat attribute requirement from equipment. Fucking spell. What else did we say? The one-handed spear versus trench timber before moving into either of the two above approaches. That's basically the list. Sorry.
Yeah, so from my TISM standpoint, trench timber is going to be king if you get one. Well, you're like if you league start and you get a trench timber, then you will use that as soon as you swap to companions because the additional level scaling is very, very strong. And I like we're not taking any spear specific nodes in the like tentative.
Well, that
leveling
won't scale the
paths that
damage
I've
you
looked
give
on.
to them. So.
Yeah. So trench timber, because of the way you're going to take your ascendancy passive. So the way I see us taking ascendancy passives is probably boss first. Bear first.
Bear, then well, maybe, but yeah. Because once you get it, you'll have access to the you can go and fucking pick up the Devourer or the Monkey at that point.
Well, so second is early Act 2. We don't have access to the Tame Beast gem yet, and they haven't lowered its entry level in the patch notes. I might actually poke Viper about that. But like right now, we can only tame beasts after we get access to a level 9 skill gem. We don't get access to a level 9 skill gem until right near the end of Act 2. And obviously you will ascend before that. Like you'll ascend as soon as you start Act 2, basically.
Yeah,
so
right.
You almost certainly take Bear first and keep twistering until you get access to your second ascendancy and access to... Like, there's this sweet spot where everything lines up perfectly. You get access to Tame Beast, you get access to a level 9 plus Spirit Gem, and you get access to your second ascendancy all at the midpoint of Act 3. And so at that point, on your second ascension, you can have Bear plus Boss plus Wolfpack all online as long as you have Trusted Kinship. And you should have enough spirit to do all that as long as you're using one-hander and scepter. Like I did the math. So that's the point at which you will swap. So I think you will start Bear first, then you will go Boss, and then after you've gone Bear Boss, you will go Carthers. But Carthers won't happen until like post level 60, right? Like your third ascension isn't until right when you hit maps.
You could do the Owl node first and respec it. I mentioned in chat. That's actually not a bad idea. You could do Owl node just for the sake of you boosting up the speed and efficiency of your Twister, but then you have to use the gold to respec that when you go in Beast. Act 3.
So yeah, you can get some extra damage from going Owl, and in the pure Twister leveling build that I'm doing, you'll go Owl first. But in the Spirit Walker minion, so going Bear looks like he is tuned quite highly from the test videos we've seen. He also offers Maim, Intimidate, and a Source for Loyalty for damage reduction, all of which are very strong tools from Second Ascension. I forget, what tier is Loyalty? It is tier 2. Yeah, so you can get the 10% damage reduction from Loyalty for going Bear, plus get a Source of Intimidate, which is a 10% more damage multiplier, plus have Maim, plus have the damage coming from the Bear as well. So I think I think bear first and not having to respec is going to be the simpler way if you intend to be companions.
Yeah. Emotional support bit. That makes sense. Are you grabbing a talisman and playing Mama Bear with purple bearling? Well, if you do talisman, you would be wolf because wolf the pounds with a mark is just too overpowered. The real question comes
it's very,
down
very good.
to like Giant's Blood versus pounds. So essentially, you have Sylvan's effigy, Giant's Blood, versus Talisman Rare Scepter. So one has more minions or more companions. The other one has fewer companions, but you get pounds. But with pounds is worth less with fewer minions. Gotta keep that in mind. Well, it's worth less than if you had more minions, but you can't have pounds and more minions. You can't have Sylvan's effigy with it. You're not going to be weapon swapping into talisman pounds and then back. I don't think you do that, do you? What do you think?
Probably not. There is a third option, which is Giant's Blood plus Sylvan's effigy. Giant's Blood plus Rare Scepter, where you go Chobba Chabba and you have a Rare Scepter and a smaller number of companions. But between the Scepter and Chobba Chabba, you have like 8 or 9 potential levels. Right? Because you can get in that instance where you're only running your 3 companions, right? Your bear and then your which is free, and then your 2 companions, your boss and your wolf pack or whatever, from Trusted Kinship, which gives you the +1 companion
Okay,
limit.
just to stop you, the Chober, sure, but I mean, at that point, I'm pretty sure it would be better to do it from nothing and go Lord of the Wilds and have the pounds. Because you get the minions and the pounds as well to stack the Predator. Like I don't think Giant's Blood is worth it unless you're doing it for the sake of Sylvan's effigy.
An additional 3 levels is a lot. Potentially an additional 4 levels with a sanctified Chobba Chabba. And we don't know how it's going to upgrade as well, right? Like, it could have very good base damage. But we just don't know. I personally, I think the strongest versions are going to be Chobba Chabba, Sylvan's effigy. I think that's going to end up being the strongest version.
I like the Chobba Chabba Sylvan's effigy with the Vertex strat.
I'm not even sure we need Vertex.
Might not. I just like the idea of it very much. Yeah. I think it might actually be the play. It also will emphasize more on the idea of you being a Zoomancer, Zookeeper, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You'll have a large amount of minions, and the auras of these minions are going to, or the modifiers on them, are going to offset the lack of rare modifiers from the Rare Scepter. Like, you'll just get a bunch of auras. You'll have the haste aura, you'll have the fist aura, you'll have the damage auras. Like, you'll have a bunch of those things, right?
Yeah. And so, okay, there is one drawback to the run 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 or however many companions we can eventually squeeze in with RMR, right? Or improved reservation efficiency, IRE. Because we should call it what it is in PoE 2, because RMR doesn't exist in PoE 2.
Yeah, it's the same. But I mean, everybody calls Radiant Spirit SRS when it's actually called RS in PoE 2, so.
Yeah. We're just old.
Yeah.
Is Jeweler's Orbs. One of the things that we are going to run into is we are going to have a lot of skills that we want to level 20 and Jeweler Orb in the big minion army approach.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to have a lot of companions.
Yeah.
So that is something to consider.
But Divine Orbs are more common now, so it's fine.
Oh, Jeweler's Orbs, you mean? The perfects?
No. The patch note says Divine Orbs are more common, so we can buy them. The patch note literally said Divine Orbs are more common.
Really? I think I missed that patch note.
It just there was a text that just straight up said divine orbs here are divine orbs are now more common.
Divine orbs are now more common. Right, okay, fair enough.
I mean, I don't know how the fluctuation is going to go with the inflation. I just found this very fun.
Honestly, so okay, I said this to, I think it was Breaker. I was chatting to Breaker while I was quickly skimming the patch notes because I didn't want to spoil you on a bunch of the patch notes. The sleeper coolest patch note for sure for me is it's actually right near the divine orbs are now more common, which is probably why I missed it. No omen of corruption. Sanctifying and corrupting now cares about the base, like the current.
Yeah. It doesn't divine the orb, the item, before it multiplies the numerical value.
That is going to act as the biggest divine sink. Because
I think
now
so as well.
there are, like, particularly for sanctification. Well, even for corruption, right? Like, just it is going to cut a bunch of currency out of the top end.
Oh yeah, like the high-end crafting for sanctifying will require you to divine orb the items up to proper stats before you pop it. Now you would buy like a low roll Bones of Valor, and then you corrupt it, praying it would divine high before the multiplication hits. Now you're gonna have to divine it to a high number, then do the corruption on it. So it's definitely going to be a huge, massive divine sink across the board.
And it does, like, because good PoE2 players who are looking to optimize their gear at the end game should have every piece of gear corrupted or sanctified, right? Like, that is the goal in PoE2. The goal is not to have good gear that isn't divined or sanctified, or sanctified or corrupted. You know, every piece of your gear should eventually be sanctified or corrupted, which means that every piece of your gear, like, there's going to be a bunch more gear that ends up bricked, that ends up on the market, that is top tier, but rolled down or didn't hit ideal corruption outcomes. Particularly, there's going to be a lot of gear because of the Omen of Corruption going away. There's going to be a bunch of gear that just has really good affixes, but didn't roll +1 socket or an implicit. Right, there's going to be so much of that gear because you don't have the guaranteed outcome on corruption now. So 1/4 of corruption attempts are just going to result in the gear didn't change. And for the end game players, if the gear didn't change, then they make a new one and go again. So yeah, it's cool. I like it. I am a fan. Anyway, back to notes from mapping.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the Spirit Walker stuff. I mean, we have Living Lightning notes from yapping. That's like the Tactician, Bow Minions. Consider something like SRS, Living Bomb combination for the Living Lightning. We had what else did we yap about? Yes, defenses on existing builds could be fine, but needs some POP being into. What else do we have? The Notepad program he's using, just Notepad++. I just prefer this over the regular Notepad.
Chunk is Bay. Chunk is gonna be done.
Don't know. It's
You know, so the funny thing about Chunk, I was talking to Otter's gang about this. Chunk, the percent extra damage as chaos from Chunk does apply to Infernal Legion, right? In percenting damage as extra applies to Infernal Legion. So you can have your Infernal Legion companion on Chonk gaining 175% plus damage as extra chaos, which will apply to the damage that it deals to determine whether or not it applies an ignite. And then if the beast is all damage can ignite, it's just going to be 175% more damage multi. And then if it's a level 30 companion, it's going to be like 160 or 150% more damage on the gem.
182.
So is 182. That's level 40 though, right?
Level 20.
4% more level starting at level 9.
That's level 20, right? 50% plus 50 from the other node. Plus 20 from the skill tree, plus 40 from the support gem. 160%. 70 times 2.6. 182.
Yeah, that's assuming level 20. So that's level 90. I'm saying 175 plus because what really matters is, you know, what you're actually going to have during your progression period, not once you're level 90.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, 150 plus, but it's going to be crazy either way.
Yeah, it's going to be really good.
And then
did you, because I didn't watch your patch notes reading, I want to talk about this. When you looked through the new Kalguran skills and stuff, did you read them? There's a couple in there that I am excited, because I was initially concerned that we wouldn't have a lot of potential minion support in the Kalguran skills and supports.
yeah, Jacob Kaka, thanks so much for the gift of sub. The one that stood out the most for me was the March one. Eternal March,
yep.
Detonate Living, Bitter Dead. I mean, it's just names. Can't really make out shit out of it. But Eternal March, Detonate Living, Bitter Dead. The Animus one sounds pretty interesting as well. But I mean, again, it's just names, right?
Yeah, but we have a week till we can play GHAZZY. We need
I mean, honestly,
we need something.
Look at the fucking notepad, dude. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things up there. We have 3 chunk stuff. We have 1 tactician, 1 gemlin, 1 chrono curse. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 revisiting of existing builds when it comes to the existing plans we've made, like Rage Reavers, SRS, DOV, zombies. We also have guides are continuing forward. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to cover there. I think we have enough content. Like today's even gonna I'm just gonna have a shorter stream today for those of you who missed it, because me and Darth are going to be prepping and planning the Tavern Talk for tomorrow. And then tomorrow's Tavern Talk, and then we're probably gonna start PUBing stuff on Sunday. So like we're just yapping. I don't think we're having problems with content. On the other hand, I think we have more than we have time for, because what's going to happen is we're going to start with PUB and stuff with the Spirit Walker, and once we've decided that and how the leveling is going to go, I am going to be playtesting and practicing this at least a couple of the days before Friday, and plus minus whatever teasers and news we get. How long is Tavern Talk? It's going to be tomorrow at Saturday, 2300 hours CEST or 2 p.m. PDT. What do you think about the Tober chapter changes? I mean, we're heavily considering it for the Spirit Walker right now. Like, all I'm saying is, like, we have so much content to go through, because once we've established the leveling stuff, I need to do practice runs, at least 1 or 2 runs a day kind of thing, to go through the process till at least end of Act 3 kind of thing. I don't think I'll do after that, because after that, we're going to be utilizing new stuff. But I need to do practice runs with Twister to do the 2 first ascendancies. And end of Act 3.
Honestly, you only need to go as far as
well, that's like Bog and second ascendancy.
Yeah, I wouldn't even push it that far, because like the clearing to Azak Bog and doing Azak Bog is easy. I would say the hardest pain point that you're going to encounter between like starting and converting to a companion build, if I'm right about when conversion happens, like when we swap, is Jamun-Ra. If you can get to and kill Jamun-Ra in a reasonable amount of time, like the next 5 or 6 zones that you need to do before you can like swap with your second ascendancy, that you don't have to worry about testing that. It's fucking simple.
Well, I need to make sure that the trial of chaos goes smoothly. So I probably will have to practice that just to get a feeling for it. And if you do that and that's like, boy, you're done. That's where the transition, because that's when you start doing the actual tame boss, right? For Silverfist.
Yeah.
You still think Chayula gets a secret ascendancy? Yes. Either ascendancy node or similar treatment to the alternative ascendancy version of the Abyssal Lich, which means like half the ascendancy will have nodes changing, right? We don't even know. Like, here's the thing. We might not get a new node. We might get a change on the ascendancy. And if the change ascendancy removes remnants, then the whole chunk monk will have, you don't need the last ascendancy. It's not, you're not even going to spend those nodes anywhere because they will do nothing. So we'll see. As a Spirit Walker may be looking at the moment, just tune in. I mean, theoretically, from what we talked about, we have some plans, but we don't know the nodes that we're getting, the 19 new passives for companions. So we can't be finalized till we have that info.
There's one other patch note that I want to discuss quickly. Somebody in chat brought it up because I forgot to mention it to you, which is the Archon of Undeath cluster.
Yeah, what is that? Is that in the tree right now?
So it's not. Archon buffs currently are, there's only one of them. It's Elemental Archon, right? And it's it basically like gives, like, you can get Ice Archon, Flame Archon, Lightning Archon, Elemental Archon, and it gives you more damage with elemental spells, and you get like increased freeze build-up or increased shock build-up or whatever. But Archon of Undeath is like clearly related to minions somehow, right? So
Rock on.
I don't know what it will be. I don't know if it's like if a certain number of minions die, you get an Archon buff. But I feel like there's definitely going to be a new Archon buff that is specifically for minion builds. It could also be a Chaos Archon buff, right? Like it could be Chaos Archon, but I would feel like it would be Archon of Chaos if it was related to Chaos, right? So it's kind of exciting. But yeah, basically, for those who don't know, the way Archon works is it's a 10-second buff that you can earn by fulfilling a specific like condition, right? So I think like some of the Archon buffs are if you've spent 100% of your mana, you get an Archon buff. I mean, you can look them up on the passive tree. I don't have it exactly in front of me. And I'm not an expert because they're elemental spells and it's not something I've focused on. But yeah, you can get basically, yeah, so here's one. Gain Elemental Archon when your energy shield recharge begins, right? So you can get an Elemental Archon buff that lasts 10 seconds whenever your energy shield recharge starts. And then you get a 10-second buff, and then you can't get another buff for 20 seconds. So it is a ping pong buff, which GHAZZY hates.
Yeah. No, I can't stand it. I just straight up cannot stand it. Shit system.
But there are passives that adjust it, right? So
yeah, but it's still ping ponging or pending.
It's still ping
fuck that. Yeah. I don't like pendulum buffs. We had that with the Pendulum of Destruction in PoE 1. Like, oh, for 5 seconds you'll have more AoE. And the next 5 seconds you'll have Giga damage buff. And then the next 5 seconds you'll have Giga AoE. I'm like, fuck that. It just feels bad.
So we don't know what the condition is going to be. We don't know how it's going to affect us. But it may be a new tool that we want to explore on witch builds. Or builds that live in the minion section of the tree. Because the Archon buffs are very strong. They're a very strong passively activating effect. And so if you only have to invest, 4 passive points into it or something, they could definitely be something that we want to use. But we don't have any specific details on it yet. Archon of Pressing Unearth, yeah. I'm honestly, Scribblet, I am hoping that it's related to temporary minions, because I really want to do temporary minion Oracle, and I really want to do temporary minion Disciple of Arashta.
Can you imagine temp
like
minion
those.
Oracle with like the Living Bomb, SRS, a Living Lightning? Because that's kind of what Crippus is saying. Let me check his message. He said, Living Lightning is like instantly if you have minion investment, but you need a non-minion skill to use them, and you need skills for that non-minion skills so they inherit it. Like, what is their dual mace, totem, giant blood? And he was talking about if you go Oracle, get all bonus temp minion shit. Then the question is, how do we crack out 9 of them per every second? I think that could be kind of fun to engage with and humor, at least. I like the idea of that. If we're doing the Living Bomb setup and having SRS and Living Lightning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try and make work on Virage for this league.
Hmm.
I like your chunk notes there, Gazzy. They're
the chunk
they're
notes,
very accurate.
Yeah. They're very accurate, yeah. I get a message.
Oh, please be a great thumbnail. Has he done it again?
Oh, this is... Hold on. All right. I can't say that out loud though. But there's some fun things happening for launch. Source says, Jin, Bill, your thoughts? I think Jin is going to be really good. The Disciple of Rashta is super strong, especially for leveling, and offers probably the best capabilities for energy shield defenses. What will the chunk leveling be? I mean, probably Twisters. Probably Twisters.
No, there's a lot of conditional damage that Huntress gets that makes Twisters work really well on Huntress. Chonk leveling...
Twisters.
No, I don't think it will be. I think it'll be...
Actually, no, you're right. I think it will be Twisters.
I'm not sure what it's going to be through Act 1. I think it'll either end up being Falling Thunder. It'll be Killing Pump, Falling Thunder, which is very comfy for leveling through Act 1, with like basic attack and bell for boss until you get Ice Strike.
Wait,
but
what was
I
that
think
word
it'll convert
again?
to minions.
What was that skill you said?
Basic attack.
You mean Twisters?
No, I don't mean Twisters.
No. You mean Twister?
Or it'll be some kind of bow thing, but it'll convert to minions quickly. Because you can... actually, this is something that I haven't checked. I should check
Basic
this.
Twisters.
When can you get Selfless Remnants? It's a tier 2. Okay, yeah. So we'll swap to full minions.
But you're not sustaining remnants at that point. And you'll have the first ascendancy. You're going to have a bunch of different random remnants. You're not going to have guaranteed purple. You're not going to pick up range.
So
I don't think you focus on that at all.
Okay, so to be fair, based on the passive tree, there's 0 chance that you play Twisters on Monk. 0 chance. There's no projectile or very limited projectile support up there.
Well, you only need to do it till a certain point, right? Because if you do that leveling...
Act 3.
Yeah, you get to Act 3, and you know what happens in Act 3? Wall guards. Now you're walking through the campaign.
Yeah, but Gazzy. Okay.
Don't start the whole rant that I can't just have.
Boot up PoE 2. All right, I want you to boot up PoE 2. I want you to create a new monk, and then I want you to get to Act 3 with Twisters with no passive tree, because that's what you're suggesting. You'll just have no fucking passives for 3 acts.
Early, it'll be fine.
It won't be fine. We will come up with a better leveling strategy.
Yeah, but there's like attack speed and shit you can pick up early, right? Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of
Twisters
attack
doesn't care
speed
about
and
attack
attack
speed.
damage. No, but
Twisters doesn't care about
the
attack
fucking
speed.
whirling the setup for it cares about the attack speed.
Yeah, but who cares about the setup? It's all about the payoff.
I don't know about that. You get skill speed as well. Goratha did a chunk poison bow.
Chunk poison bow could be a thing. But so there are three elements to this, right? The first is you want it to be smooth and reliable while you're leveling through the first acts. The second thing that you got to worry about is if you are converting to a minion build, you want to make sure the pathing doesn't require a full respec in Act 3, because fuck that. And then the third thing you need to worry about is like exactly like how spooned do you have to get to make the build feel good, right? If the build requires you to be spoon-fed fucking giga weapons from Act 1 to Act 3, that's a shit build, and it's a shit leveler, and a shit league starter.
That's fair.
So,
I mean, that's a fair take. Porkro, thanks so much for the prompt. So appreciate you, man. New strategy, improvise.
Yeah, just get through Act 3. Get through Act 3, and then once you get through Act 3, play the build. We'll give you 0 guidance until then.
Yeah, the build
Play
guide,
Frostwall.
you have to pay for it. It just says improvise, motherfucker. Holy fuck. Now, all you do is you ask a buddy that is in maps within the first 30 minutes of the league launch, you ask him to give you a pair of face breakers that's already juiced up with damage. You equip that, are you good?
No, that would probably actually work.
I mean, that would work.
But yeah, we will work out a solid leveling plan for Tronk. I'll do some testing and decide on what I think is going to be the best way to get from Act 1 to Act 3.
Mm.
And we'll likely have a leveling guide up for that, for Chonk minion leveling. I think you're right. I think the conversion has to happen at Act 3 Second Ascendancy.
Yeah, but you're probably just gonna walk around with Volgards because they do so much fucking damage. You can start playing minions from there. Because you're not gonna use Cultist Archers to your Catal's Rejuvenation, assuming that even works. Well, it will work, but assuming it will even be good. We have chat every league start. What do you mean? We have chat every league start? What do you mean for good? Want to use Chaos Zealots? Because they suck?
Yeah, they're just worse than Powered Zealots. And Powered Zealots give you a source of shock.
We have
Reavers.
this chat
Now,
every league,
Reavers
so
is something
you
I
and
want to talk about.
Lolash. I mean, me and Lolash, don't we have this chat every league?
So historically, if we go back over all the leagues that we've been working together, normally yes. But the last couple of leagues, we've yapped less than we normally would because you've had a bunch of other shit happening, right? Like there's been Torchlight Infinites and Last Epochs and D4s, and so we've yapped a lot less the last couple of times.
Yeah, one of them I flew to China. Oh god, yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what we want to do, right? We want to hang out and chat and work things out and like pob things, and then GHAZZY can test things and I can help him out with my experience. And
yeah, but yeah, Fuga, to answer your question, yes, we always want to do this. As long as we can make time for it, we always do, is what he's saying. But absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think honestly, and I've given this feedback to GGG and I'll probably give it to them again.
Wait, YouTube chat saying, I'm guessing he helps GHAZZY with builds. Yes, so for those of you who don't know, Lolash, who I'm talking to right now, is also a streamer. He is the guy who's my right-hand man when it comes to PoE 2 guides. So basically what happens is I usually end up streaming like 30 plus hours. And I don't have time to update the guides or anything when I'm live. So I need someone to help me do that. And we have so many guides now, like I cannot write them myself. I can't. So I need someone to help me with that. And Lolash is that person. He's helping me not just do the writing, he's helping me bounce ideas back and forth. Because both of us have a kind of a different approach to how we engage with build creation and play styles. And that allows us to create builds that are what I would like to think is a better balanced approach than if any of us did it ourselves. So that's the way we operate with how we create builds for the community. And Lolash is the one helping me do all the writing. I'll say this, if I come to Sweden, I'm seeing your brother. If I see only GHAZZY, I'll be sad. Well, Lolash is in Australia. I'm trying to persuade him to move to Europe so we can play games together. But, oh, by the way, Lolash, I need... How's your ping to West Coast servers?
Like 250. Why?
Fuck. So we need to fill the last spot in our raid group, okay? We're lacking an Affliction Warlock in WoW TBC. Karn, me, Darth, Rax, we're all raiding there. And we need a fucking Affliction Warlock that can perform. Fuck, man.
See, okay, so I said this in chat, but I don't think you caught it the other day. I loved Burning Crusade. Burning Crusade was great. Also, and I'm going to regret telling you this, I was an Affliction Warlock Gnome main as a raider in Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King.
So you're moving to Europe. We need one by Tuesday.
However, I'm not going to get involved. But if Wrath of the Lich King drops, classic Wrath of the Lich King drops, maybe, because that Wrath of the Lich King is my favorite expansion. If Wrath of the Lich King drops, classic, maybe I could be convinced to play well.
You play a 250 ping?
Yeah, of course I can. I live in Australia. When WoW came out, I was playing on fucking copper dial-up and raiding with people in the US.
Okay.
Because it's Australia, right?
Okay.
Like I can play. I used to pass like 96s with 250 ping. There's
okay.
But maybe I'm going to stress this word again. Maybe.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter because we need one that is good, that can perform, and we need one ASAP. All right, anyways, we're not going to yap too much about WoW because we keep doing that. But if anyone in chat happens to be an Affliction Warlock enjoyer that you have receipts of you being a performer of Warcraft logs and whatnot, and you're interested in joining EM, Karn, Rax, me, and a bunch of others raiding with in TBC, send me a Discord message. And I'm sure we can find a solution to get your ass in there. Because we need one player to fill our roster. Anyways. Go to Europe, dude. Let's GHAZZY sponsor you. I'm not made of money, bro. I have a fiance who's studying and has zero income. We have a house and a daughter. Do you think I can afford anything but just making sure we have at least some some dry biscuits and noodles for lunch? Like it's enough, man. I can't pay more right now. I'm broke.
It's on you, chat. If you want me to move to Europe, start giving GHAZZY more money. Make him rich. Give him that Lambo money.
The Lambo money, yeah. I want a Super Snake. That's what I want. Is he taking which minion build in 0.5? Chat says it's okay, but you're the minion goat. There's so many different witch minion builds, but it will definitely be fine. The question for us is that most of the witch minion builds, or all of them, are energy shield based, so we need to look into how we solve the defenses on it, but we'll have that covered and posted and updated before launch. Made Lolash sell himself when needed. True! Yes, again, I do main Warlock and retail WoW for 10 years, but I won't play WoW. Now I get that. You're also a little bit east of me, so the ping for you to the west coast is going to be pretty rough as well. And have a good night, Fugaz. Appreciate you stopping by, man. I'll catch you later, bro. See, Gassy, that's why I've been recommending you to start an OnlyFans or sell Hannah's feet pics on the internet. I'm already selling my own feet pics, and they're available to all of my Twitch tier 4 subscribers. Jesus Christ. What is happening?
What were we talking about before we got completely fucking derailed?
I have no idea. Let's move away from the WoW topic. Back to PoE.
Yeah, PoE. That's a video game that we play. Yeah. So I remember what I was saying. One of the problems that we have, and like this is a balance problem, and hopefully they can address it over the next 6 months, is that minions, even witch minions, feel kind of ass until like Act 2, Act 3. Like
Yes.
they need some tuning in the very early stages of the campaign, in my opinion. So I
don't think they'll do that. It's similar to PoE 1. I don't think they'll do that. But either way. Get to Act 3, Volgar's carry. Basically the play right now.
This is true. On the topic of Valgards are going to be so much stronger this league.
Yeah? Oh, fuck. Ugh. SRS is okay. So why would Volgards be stronger?
+1 prod rings. So at the moment you have them fire out
but that's
3
for but that's for end game. But yeah,
end game.
sure.
Yeah. Well, so Valgards had this thing where they fell off compared to things like Powered Zealots, right? In the very late stages of the game.
Yeah, but Power Cells would
But
also get the
now-
extra projectile.
Yeah, but Powered Zealots already fire, like the main damage from Powered Zealots comes from them firing 20 projectiles already, or however many it is each.
That's fair.
So them getting 2 projectiles is a very small upgrade. But with Valgards, you could completely get rid of multi-shot, right? If you wanted to, with 2+ prod rings, and have the same effect, but have a damage multiplier instead of a damage downgrade.
Or just get them more AoE and maintain and give them that as well as multi-proj.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you get if you're playing them on Chonk, you get the massive damage as Chaos, which is very, very good, because Chonk going to be OP this league. But you also have Katal's Rejuvenation, which is going to improve their cooldown recovery rate, allowing them to more consistently throw out grenades.
Okay. I was about to say the CDR is going to halt their efficiency, but on the Chonk with Katal's Rejuvenation, they would actually do really well. Might even be better than Cultist Archers. Because Cultist Archers are not going to have them down to the point where they're casting it that often. It'll be cool to play. We'll play test it, of course, but ultimately, Volgards could actually do really well with it. That would be so cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, screen cancer, but it's a lot of coverage.
Unfortunately, screen cancer. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. But sure. Why not go straight for the Koenigsegg? Well, Koenigsegg costs more than a Super Snake. You know, I live like 25 minutes away from the Koenigsegg factory.
Yeah, you also need to save enough money to move me to Europe, right? So
True. Priorities.
So Super Snake plus me or Koenigsegg.
I don't think it's going to cost me that much to move you to Europe.
You can't afford me. Well, I mean, you can afford me. You're already affording me, but...
Oh, yeah. Moving to Lawless Europe is like 1% of X price. True. There's Lawless opinion about Ravenous Swarm on Earth, Melee Splash.
Melee Splash is a game changer.
It is, but I don't think Ravenous Swarm will be that good.
You know what I'm super excited for? Gigantic Raging Reavers. What? No. So let me.
I don't think
explain,
they damage enough, but yeah.
Well, so here's the thing, right? The main problem with Reavers Well, there were three main problems with Reavers, right? The first problem was, like, sustaining their rage, like getting them to have rage and stuff was a pain in the ass. And then even when you did, even with tech rods, they would eventually degen to the point where the tech rods wouldn't matter and they would die. They've changed that. So now they can degen permanently, and tech rods has 100%, like it's always going to be, you're always going to have that 20-second window or whatever it is on tech rods, instead of them dying off randomly during tech rods from taking damage. So they're going to have way better uptime, die a whole lot less, and scale their damage so much better. And then the second thing is they're clear sucked because they're a melee minion. But now we have melee splash.
I just feel like they don't do enough damage even when they're juiced up. Like, we tried juicing. Still kind of felt man damage up. Some time ago, though. Revisited.
It was. And like they were dying off before they had a chance to ramp up properly, because the boss would slam them, and even though they had tech rods, they would take 100% extra of their HP and they would die.
True.
But that doesn't happen anymore. They'll just stand there and keep wailing on the boss.
Yeah. You think GGG will fix minions uptime? Like, they're not able to keep up with characters, always get lost in screen and respawn, and we lose so much of them since this happens a lot. I mean, temp minions dying when you outrange them has been a pain point for as long as PvE has been out, right? I was hoping they were going to fix that, but we'll see. But no, I agree with you. Like, they won't get annihilated and slammed out of existence. So I mean, there's definitely some revisiting required for sure to look into it. I would rather start with revisiting SRS when we get to that point personally. I mean, we have some priorities, right? We have to do the Spirit Walker stuff, we have to do the Chonk stuff, and after we're done with that, we should do the check on the existing guides, and then we should probably look at Tactician Bow stuff, Gemlin stuff, and then we can revisit things. And I would think that the revisiting things should be in the order of SRS Living Lightning things, and then zombies, and then maybe DOV, and then Rage Reavers. That's kind of like the order that I would like to do it in.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Spirit Walker and Chonk are definitely the big priorities, and then making sure everything is updated. And then we start revisiting and looking at all of my old wild ideas and some of the new stuff.
Yeah, and then we have Ritualist Sniper thing, which I think we should put into revisiting. We can do before Reavers, actually. So, order of priority is Spirit, Chonk, Tactician Bow, Gemlin, Chrono Curse Shenanigans. Then we get to... do this.
So I misread when I was looking at the Chronomancer. It's no longer a curse. The Chronomancer Inevitable Agony is no longer a curse. It's just a debuff that you apply, which is interesting and good, but also bad, because you're not going to be able to scale it with curse effect, but it's also not going to be affected by unique monsters having reduced curse effectiveness on them. So it's just a 25% more damage multiplier, which means that I don't think it's going to be enough offensively to make Chronomancer attractive. Chronomancer is mostly going to be attractive because of its defensive power and its utility. And I think, unfortunately, minions require some offensive power to come from the Ascendancy. Otherwise, they're not going to be competitive. So
I agree.
I think Chronomancer is out at the moment.
Yeah.
Personally.
Hey, what's up, Dead Rabbit? How you doing, man? Minion League? Dead Rabbit. Bro, you've been around long enough to know this secret, but for those of you who don't know the secret, when people say that, oh my god, it's Minion League, we're getting so much minion attention, here's the secret. Every league is Minion League, okay? Every league. But yeah, okay, so basically our order is Spirit Walker, Chonk, Tactician Bow, Gemlin, pending alt quality options. Then we go through the guidance that we have that exist, update those, and adding Twisted leveling thing. And then we finish with revisits, starting with SRS, Zombie, DOV, Richard the Sniper. Probably we want to do Richard the Sniper before DOV person. And then Retrievers. Finish it off. And we are not going to POB today. Tomorrow is Tavern Talk. So we're going to start this process on Sunday. And we'll have 5 days to do all of this. And I have to practice leveling at some point in those 5 days as well. Yay. Okay. This is...
It's all right. It's just, it's going to be good practice for you. You haven't done long streams for a little while, right? We haven't had any reason for you to do long streams. So this is just, you know.
It's strap the fuck in kind of deal on this.
Yeah.
Or anything I have to do in the week. I have one sponsorship video I have to record before launch. That's about it.
On the topic of zombies,
Oh, we're good.
with no changes to temp minions and the fact that they killed minion instability.
Well,
MI
zombies I think will be the main play with that now.
Well, so the main way that people were using minion instability, particularly with the wolves and stuff in prior leagues, because I looked into it, but I never popped it myself, but I looked at what other people were doing, was they were using tech rods or last gasp to have the minion instability trigger, but the minions not die, and then you would refresh the minions with a weapon swap. That's how you were getting your consistent damage out, which for me is a shit play style, and I hope it doesn't exist in the future.
Agreed.
But that's what they were doing to have consistent damage output without having to worry about respawn timers and things. In the patch notes, they fixed it. In the patch notes, minion instability no longer leaves the minion alive when it triggers. It destroys the minion instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think minion instability... I mean, maybe there's something you can do with zombies because you're summoning them actively.
I think zombies is the play. The other option is Grim Feast.
Yeah.
I know it's going to suck dicks. I don't want to touch it, but that's the solution, right? But I think that the minion instability zombies will be a better play with that.
I'm not sold.
So
I think it goes to the bottom of the list.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that personally. Like when we get to the revisits, I want to humor it when we look at zombies. That's like at the very last things. Can you do a quick walkthrough? Chonk Cultist Archer for the uneducated like me. The quick TLDR on Chonk Cultist Archers is this node gives us the remnants with 50% efficiency, right? Then this node allows us to make sure that those remnants are always going to be the purple ones, which is 7% of damage as extra chaos. Stacking 10 times, that's 70%. Then we take these two clusters, all of these nodes for increased effect, that's 20%, grants effect twice, and picking them up further away. Same thing here, additional remnant further away, and that puts us with the support gem as well with the selfless remnant, making our remnants apply to allies instead of us. And then we put that together with Katal's Rejuvenation, which puts the CDR rate following the buff of the remnant, which goes to our minions. So that stacks up 8 times, which is 5% each. So that's 40% cooldown recovery. And with 160% increase effect of remnants, means that your minions will have 40% increased cooldown recovery, which is very good for Cultist Archers and Fall Guards, sadly. And they will have, at level 90, you will have 50% from the Ascendancy skill, which means you'll have 160% increase effect of 70%. So 70% times 2.6 is 182% physical, well, not physical, 182% of all their damage added as extra chaos damage. And that's how it's going to work when it comes to damage applying to any minion. The reason Cultist Archers is an option is because Katal's Rejuvenation also gives them 40% cooldown recovery. So with cooldown recovery support gems and Katal's Rejuvenation, we can bring the 7.5 second cooldown of the whatever the bloom flower chaos skill that Cultist Archers is using that is their whole gimmick will be brought down to very low levels, allowing you to potentially use them in a proper way. That is the TLDR description of Chonk Cultist Archers. Very quick. That's the play. I like the Katal's Rejuvenation over to there's two things, right? I like the Volgar's approach to it, but the other thing is, can we sustain 10 stacks without having the CDR on ourselves? Because a Selfless Remnant will not give us Selfless Remnants CDR from Catal's Rejuvenation.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be difficult at all to maintain uptime on 10 stacks, especially because we don't have to actively cast constantly, right?
Well, we're
We
gonna
can
pick them
just
up
move
without
around.
moving, so that's not a problem. I'm just like, if
Well-
it does become a problem, the solution is the helmet turns into the human mask. That's the only thing, because then the remnants applies to us as well.
Yeah, and there is a world where having the helmet might actually be the right choice anyway, and losing a little bit of level scaling on the minions. And the reason for that is it gives us the Catal's Rejuvenation, which is good, not for generating more remnants to maintain the 10 stacks, because that's not going to be a problem. We don't have to worry about that. And the cooldown recovery won't actually apply to the remnant generation speed anyway. What it will apply to is Ghost Dance.
Well, it's Ghost Dance and I don't want to hear it, Lodge. I don't want you to counter argue. I don't want you to argue at all.
Blink.
It
Well, no,
also
the Blink is
applies to
fine.
Blink. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just say, nice idea, GHAZZY. That's great. That's all I want you to say right now, okay?
If we have enough damage. But if you run Blink during progression,
You're arguing.
Slap you. I'm not arguing. I said Blink is going to be good in the late game, right? Eventually, we're going to get to the point where we don't
You said
need more damage.
if there's enough damage. That goes without saying. It is a really good idea. We can Blink without Temporalis and have a really good CDR on it. Extra Remnant knows the right class. You can reliably have 9 to 10. That's perfect. Anyways, mid idea, GHAZZY. Somebody ban that guy. I don't have mid ideas. I have dub ideas. Lots of dubs. I'm not the one trying to make Reaper work in PoE 1 every fucking league. That's Lolash.
I'll eventually do it. When they buff Reaper and I force... Well, actually, I want to make it work before they buff it, just to force you to play it before they buff it. But I haven't managed
Terrified that will happen.
One day, GHAZZY.
One day. One day. Guys, you will make Reapers work first? No. No, I will not. You poke hand, let me see.
All right, while you're dealing with that, I can answer questions in chat. Isn't it nice having a co-pilot? What about Choba Chaba? We're excited about Choba Chaba.
I'm going to take a toilet break. I'll be back. Have fun.
All right. Chat, this is your opportunity to pose questions to the actual Giga Brains.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, we're excited for Choba Chaba. There's definitely some... I'm joking, of course. You can hear him screaming from the toilet at me. Do I think there could be that Spirit Walker that is no good? What do you mean? I think there's going to be 3 good variants of Spirit Walker for minions this league. Personally. As mentioned before, but Satchel Belt with low life Lich sounds good for recovery, 3k ES recovery per second-ish. Potentially. I mean, the Satchel Belt is very, very strong, but didn't Satchel Belt get nerfed in the patch notes? I'm sure. Because they hit most... Well, maybe it didn't. Can't we just extract Choba Chaba mobs? We don't know. They said they've added 60 new extraction runes. We have no idea how they're going to work. Can you still play minion snipers and just use the old tree, or are you cooked? You should be able to just use the minion sniper tree that we used to have. It is going to suffer defensively from where it was before. It'll need like a slight redesign, but it was already very strong, so it should work fine. Wasp Infernal Legion again. Spectre Infernal Legion got hit really hard. Companion Infernal Legion should be comparable or better depending on where you play it. Does Purple Flame work with the dot on the Raven Staff? It should work on the hit portion. We don't know how the dot portion works. We don't know if the dot portion of the Raven Staff, because we don't have the ability details from the Raven. We don't know whether it's going to function like Infernal Legion, where it has the capacity to use damage as extra, or if it doesn't. If it does, then Chonk is going to be the best user of that staff, probably. How would I level Chonk? I would probably go Killing Palm, Falling Thunder, Act 1 into Ice Strike until you can swap to minions. On the plus side, it didn't specifically state only Calgarian and Ezomite unique, so there's that. Yeah, it looks like... I don't know how it's going to work, but it might just be that specific runes can target specific types of uniques or something, or we just don't know. We'll have to wait until we see the new runes. Elephant RF will be good. Elephant RF will probably be as good as it was, would be my take, but I'm not an expert. Chat yesterday, you have to make him ask Khan what Biffle is. I don't know what Biffle is. You'll have to ask GHAZZY to ask Khan. Is there any concern that minions with Spirit Walker is not going to be good or need certain gear to really work? I mean, minion builds always are gear reliant, and PoE 2 gear is way more important than PoE 1. Right? Like, they have deliberately shifted the focus away from passive tree and skills and supports to gear. So gear is always going to be important. How important is up in the air, and there are many different variants of Spirit Walker, and there are many different builds that you could play on Spirit Walker, not just companion stuff. There's other stuff you can do, so it depends. We'll see. Leveling Pokemon build, you think you'll be able to level minions only? Hate melee builds. You won't be able to level minions only. There's going to be a period, like with all minion builds, where you have to do something else until you get to a breakpoint, and we don't know exactly where that breakpoint's going to be, but we expect it to be second Ascension. Welcome back, GHAZZY.
Hi. The fuck is Biffle?
I don't know. Apparently, you have to ask Khan what it is.
Biffle?
Not really
That's just
true. You can
weird.
start minions from level 1. If you're in the witch portion of the tree, you can start minions level 1. If you're in the intelligence portion of the tree, you can start minions level 1. If you like pain, you can start minions in other parts of the tree at level 1. But it's gonna be shit unless you have really good gear.
Let's not do that. No. Biffle, he's talking about the French word. Okay. It's turkey slapping in French.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the French do it too. See, it's not just a weird Australian.
I didn't know the English. I didn't know the French word for it. Yeah. Don't forget about Flesh Crucible.
Oh, there's something you have to add to our revisit list, because, you know, what we need is more work.
Flesh Crucible?
It's the Abyssal unique, like, timeless jewel thingy. right? No,
yeah,
Flesh
yeah.
Crucible
You
is
get
the
10 to 20% less something, and then you get a keystone. Cack with another gift. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate that, man. Actually, I'm gonna need you to carry a little bit more because Hannah just said food is ready. So I'm gonna be back in 2 seconds.
all right.
Go back,
No
guys, real
worries.
quick.
When we're getting martial artist info, nobody knows, but it'll be a teaser over the course of the next week at some point. What about the Forbidden Flame? Any such love there? What do you mean, the Forbidden Flame? As in Forbidden Flesh and Flame from PoE 1. It doesn't exist in PoE 2. And in my opinion, probably shouldn't. Will I update Minion Shaman build guide also next week? Yeah, so if it's a leveling guide on Icy Veins right now, my plan is to have them all tentatively upgraded based on, or updated based on what we have as far as information is concerned. And then I will do another pass once we get the data mine, right? Because I can't, if sections of the passive tree are changing up there, I can't adjust the build guides until we have the new passive tree, and then it's taken from the data mine information and added to the tools on the website. So there's always going to be a little bit of a lag on things like passive tree and support gems, and if there's new mechanics that are being added, there's always going to be a little bit of lag on that sort of stuff. But in saying that, I always design the builds or write the build guides in such a way that I try to give as much wiggle room as possible, so that if there are minor changes or things that like don't work quite as well, the builds are still good enough that you can get through the campaign on them fairly comfortably. Coming in 0.5, not as far as I've seen, and I don't think there was anything in the patch notes, but I can check. Yeah, there's nothing about Forbidden Flesh or Flame in the patch notes. Why did I choose Reaper as a build to make work? Because it's a terrible skill that's bad and horrible, and you should never play it. And it's a meme, and so if I can make it work, then I am a master builder. It's like when you go to Lego, you have to make a Lego ball that can be rolled around, right? If you want to be a master Lego builder. Is there any way to make screen explode with minions? Play Vargards? How quickly will the Chonk guide be up? So my first priority at the moment is to get Twister leveling and Twister into companion leveling guides written. Then I'm going to work on the Chonk leveling guide, and then I'm going to update all of our existing leveling guides. And then I'll start work on endgame guides.
I'm back.
As far as writing those up and updating them. Welcome back. Enjoy your food.
Where was I? Where were you? What are we talking about?
I just answering questions. People were, asking like when guides will be up and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, priority will be get the Spirit Walker stuff and then the Chunk stuff sorted first.
Yeah, it's going to be basically Spirit Walker, Chonk, existing leveling guides, endgame Spirit Walker, endgame Chonk, existing endgame guides is likely the part. Like that's probably the way I'm going to write the guides.
Need to POB everything. We'll do most of it on stream. Where can you find the builds? Icy Veins. Type exclamation mark build or exclamation mark builds.
Yeah, poevault.com/POE2 is the website. But if you type, exclamation mark build in chat, you just get a link.
Forbidden Flame and Flesh is not in PoE 2 now.
When are they going to make heralds work for minions? Never. They're a personal buffing skill.
Yeah, that will never happen. That'd be crazy though. Holy shit.
It would be cool. So in PoE 1, we do have a couple of herald skills that are minion related, right? Herald of Purity, Herald of Agony. It'd be cool to get some kind of herald skill in PoE that, does support or benefit minions, but we'll see.
I don't think that'll come anytime soon, if at all.
Yeah, no, it would be an additional skill to an existing class. Right now, I think they're much more focused on, like, if I'm GGG and my prediction is accurate, which, like, my predictions are normally fairly accurate. Right now, their primary goals are making sure the campaign is absolutely fucking schmick and probably trying to get like 2 classes ready for launch, because they're going to want a big,
Wait, you think they're going to
exciting,
drop 2
come play-
classes?
I think they're going to try. Definitely 1. There's no way they do 1.0 without like swords. Probably duelist.
Probably.
But I think they will try for 2 classes, plus, you know, complete campaign, plus trying to get the balance just right over the course of the next 6 months.
Maybe. Will we have
That
build
is
files
my
on
prediction.
launch? Sorry.
Oh yeah, somebody asked about dot builds. So the documentation for dot builds has been out since the reveal. It's been available since the day of the reveal. But to make a dot build file requires either a whole lot of manual writing and coding, or a tool to be developed that allows you to export from an existing like passive tree and stuff. Now POB2 is working on that. Local ID and the gang are working on having that ready for launch. Their plan is to have an update out before launch for that to be available. And Icy Veins' internal developer team is also working on trying to make that happen as quickly as possible. End of the day, I would not expect dot builds to be available the day of launch, because we need the updated passive tree information, we need all of the gem information, we need all the new item information. All that stuff is going to have to be added, particularly if it's used in any of the builds. So if there are dot builds available day 1, they're probably going to be a little wonky. But we will definitely be supporting dot builds on all of our build guides. Mine and GHAZZY's build guides. We'll definitely be supporting them. We'll have them available as soon as we have the tools available to us to actually set them up. So yeah, just keep an eye on the build guides. If they're not available immediately, refresh the page every couple of hours, and I'll be probably not playing at all and just fucking doing dot builds as soon as I can.
Well, that's likely going to be the case, right? But, you know, it'll be bad for you with that, but work it out. Time is it over at your place right now?
2:11 a.m.
2 a.m.
Yep.
Six hours difference.
Yeah. I'm on the west coast of Australia.
Yeah, but I have like hours to East Coast US.
Australia's big, man. It's like Greenland, right? Everybody, people don't understand how big Australia is.
But you only have like habitable places on the coast sides, right?
I mean, we have people who live in the middle. Just not many. It's like 93% of our population or something lives within 50 kilometers of the coast.
Oh. Isn't it just a fucking
No, I said
desert
2
in the
a.m.
middle?
Pretty much. The outback.
Not crazy. Up, man. EMP is here. No, that's another EMP. Another EMP guy.
Yeah, it's Emperor, not MP.
Yeah. Have you heard from MP lately?
Uh, no, not recently. I don't think so.
Hit him up.
Haven't seen him around much.
Talked to him in forever. MP. There, I
Australians
poked
love
him.
adding the letter R to words. Nah, mate. Nah. You know. Honestly,
It's so true.
as far as Australian accents go, I have like we have a couple of different like accents within Australia. We have the you know the Bogan accent and the sort of more middle classy accent, and like there's definitely some different accents in Australia, and mine is not the prototypical accent, right? Oftentimes I get confused for not living in Australia.
There's no way.
Yeah, that's
You have
true.
the thickest Australian accent I've ever heard.
Are you kidding?
No.
I need to like go out onto the street and find a bogan and bring him in and get him to talk into the microphone. If you no. I have what in Australia is known as the Middle English Australian accent, which is like somewhere between a true like regional Australian accent and an English accent.
Nah. Nar.
It's true, man. Like you should
Nar.
have you ever you've been on the internet forever. Do you not remember like Siggy Butt Brain? Did you ever see?
What?
Oh, fucking
Ryan.
or Trent from Punchy. Like, are these memes that didn't make them that make it international? God,
Yeah, can you say good day, mate?
I can.
Let me hear it.
G'day, mate.
There you go. 100%. 150% Australian.
Honestly, g'day, mate is not even the real way you know an Australian is not when they say g'day, mate. It's when they say, hey, gun.
Hey, what?
Hey, gun.
Gun. Oh, going.
How are you going? Gets shortened to how you going. Yeah, if you want some like this is like early 2000s brain rot here. I'll give you some early 2000s brain rot.
This is the birthplace of brain rot. That's what I'm hearing.
With original like true Australian regional accents. This is how some people in Australia legitimately talk, and not like a small portion. Do I pronounce bear as beer? No, I pronounce bear as bear, and I pronounce beer as beer.
It's the same thing. You just said the
Not
same
the
thing.
fucking same thing.
It's not the fucking same thing. Anyways, I was killed to Revis looking for this upcoming league. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
We need to
Not
add
much
something
is
to our revisits.
Yeah.
You never added it, which we need to do, which is Titan minions.
Done.
Specifically because +3 levels on Chobba Chabba, plus Giant's Blood, plus Rage scaling, plus like either a Vertex helmet or a gem requirement Vertex. Right? So then you can stack the shit out of strength, get all the benefits of Titan, and then have a Vertex helmet that gives you the ability to run any int gems without having to scale int. So you only need like 100 int, and then you need like... You just stack int and strength. And go life armor. You get 7 levels from Chobba Chabba plus a +4 scepter. Means you can get like 12 levels with a +3 amulet, +2 helmet. Well, no, you wouldn't get a +2 helmet, you get a +1 vertex. But yeah, like you could get, there could be a lot of power there.
Possibly, yeah.
Potentially.
Jibber Jabber? No. Wait, isn't Jibber Jabber a bird?
No, Jibber Jabber is when you're just yapping.
I don't know. No. Jibber Jabber bird. Hunger Games. Oh, I'm thinking about Jabberjays.
Yeah, Jabberjays.
Yeah, Jabberjays. I thought that's what they were called. Jabberjays, not Jibber Jabber. I know what Jibber Jabber is. I'm just trying to figure out if that's the name of the birds. It was Jabberjays. They're a genetically engineered mutant bird, mutts, created by the Capitol during the dark days to spy on rebels by perfectly memorizing and repeating entire human conversations. Pretty fucked up.
Basically surveillance drones nowadays.
Yeah. The fuck did you link me? Is that DMCA friendly?
It's no music. It is just a YouTube video.
It's titled Siggy Butt Brain.
Yeah. It's Australian brain rot with real Australian accents. You think my accent is bad?
I've watched Bluey. Specifically someone that drops Chopper Chabber more. Not that I know of. Skeletal Reaver looking for this patch. I just responded to that. Was it you who asked in YouTube chats? Yeah, I just responded. I said that we'll have to see how it goes because there's really no big changes to Reavers outside of like Techrod's Revenge / Last Gaps changes, which could potentially make it good. That's why we have Rage Reavers as a potential revisit topic, which will be at the tail end of builds. It's not the high priority for us to go through, but if everything goes well, we'll go through this entire list before Friday. Cassowary? Is that pronounced correctly? Cassowary? Wary?
Yeah, the cassowary, yeah.
Not a bird, it's a dinosaur? What the fuck is this? Googling.
It is simultaneously the world's gayest bird and also a dinosaur.
That's not a bird, that is a dinosaur. What the fuck?
Have a look at its feet.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. The fuck is this? Does it
you
taste
don't
good?
Understand until you see a close-up of its feet. No. And they're like... You wouldn't want to eat them anyway. You'd try to shoot them and they'd just run you down and impale you on their 9-inch claws that they have.
Wait, that's 9 inches?
Yep. No, you're looking at a toe. Look at the one behind that one.
Behind?
That's a toe with a nail. The one on the back on the top.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that class. See, it's yeah. Okay. No, that's a fucking dinosaur, bro.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's not a bird. Not even close. What the fuck is this?
They also make like one of the most bone-chilling sounds you'll ever hear.
Here's a great image.
See the world's gayest bird, and also a dinosaur.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What
And
the fuck?
they are fucking loud too. Like,
What the fuck? I'm never coming to Australia. Bro, everything wants to kill you and you got dinosaurs. I've seen Jurassic Park, you know, I've seen all of them. I know where this is going, dude. What the fuck is this animal?
yeah, pretty crazy.
Are they aggressive, like hostile and shit?
They are quite territorial. Yeah. But you only encounter them in, like, the far north.
What the fuck is this thing, dude? It is fucked. Like Shoebill. Yeah, I know these. They look fucked up as well. Like actually fucked up. But that's not as fucked up as a cassowary. You have all the fucked up shit
Yeah.
down there, dude. The hell?
Yeah, and like shoebills are big, right? But a cassowary is bigger.
Can't believe people are willingly living in Australia. It's the
Best
fucking
place in the world to live, dude.
bro. Just everybody should just move the fuck out and let the animals rule that place. God damn, dude. How many people a year? Wait, okay. How many people a year die to cassowary? The AI says, oh, they're incredibly rare, averaging far less than 1 per year. Oh, okay. Shoebills.
We don't die due to wildlife. So okay, here's the thing that
0.
particularly Americans, but also Europeans don't understand is that we just respect our wildlife, right? If it's dangerous, we don't go near it. If you avoid it, it won't hurt you. Unless you're talking about sharks because we like to swim, but
you have an average of 34 animal-related deaths a year in Australia.
yeah, but almost all of them are caused by cows and horses on roads and dogs.
Oh yeah, it's the vast majority of these fatalities are caused by domesticated and farm animals like horses, cows, and dogs. The real culprits. Kangaroos kill 2 to 3 guys a year. Snakes, 2 guys a year. Sharks.
Have you seen a boomer?
Yes, they do roam the streets in every country.
No. A boomer is an adult alpha male kangaroo.
Oh. What?
They're called boomers, and yeah. They've been called boomers since long before fucking the young ones started calling boomers boomers.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
You know,
like
my
100 kilograms
mother-
of muscle.
My mother used to drive a truck many years ago for work, and she told me the story of one of her coworkers hit a wild boar. He was driving about 80 kilometers an hour, a couple of tons of cargo, tries to brake, hits a wild boar. The boar was halfway inside the engine of the truck, bleeds like a motherfucker, and walks away. And the truck is totaled, like completely wrecked. But the fucking the boar walked away. Probably bled to death, but
wombats do the same
fucking
thing.
walked away. Like, that is so crazy. Then she told me that when they're driving cargo, like very heavy cargo, like several tons of cargo, they're basically instructed that you cannot sway for a lot of animals. Like in Sweden, on the streets, like we're supposed to try to sway from certain animals, but if it's smaller than a dog, you're legally like if you cause a car accident because you sway from an animal as smaller than a dog, it's your fault because you're supposed to just hit the animal instead, essentially. But she said that deer, she very graphically explained that deer are soft animals. So when you hit them with a truck, they explode. But if you hit a wild boar, the truck's gonna be completely totaled. And then she told me about her coworker. That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Anyways.
somebody asked me why a big male kangaroos called boomers. It's because a male kangaroo can be over 2 meters tall, weigh more than 95 kilos, and they're pure muscle. And when they're like bounding, when they're jumping around, their feet just slap the ground and make a shitload of, like, they're really, really loud. They also make a really loud sound when you hit them with a car, which happens all the fucking time.
They make a big sound when you hit them with a car. Okay.
Yeah, they make a boom.
Thanks for that enlightenment. Oh my god.
So they have their kangaroos are basically deer, except that instead of being like skittish, they just don't give a fuck. Right? Like kangaroos they will happily jump in front of your car.
But you and I have been in a Discord call when I was in the car doing a late night drive to McDonald's.
You nearly hit a deer. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like I was driving middle of the night, no one's there. Obviously, a little, tiny bit over the speed limit, and I just had to stomp the fucking brakes. I don't know what sound I made, but I was like, "Holy fuck!" And then all my food is down on the floor. And this fucking deer, it was literally the deer in a headlight moment. That fucking deer walked out of the streets, saw my car, I stomped the brakes, and the fucking deer just stands there staring at the car. Not until I'm completely still does it move away. Like, fuck you too. All my food was on the floor, man. That's the first time I actually got to experience the whole deer in the headlights comment. Because they really do just stand there, getting completely distracted. Yeah, we was doing the work. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was fucking scary though. Moose just doesn't give a fuck. Dude, moose they're fucking huge, dude. We have them in Sweden. The headlights blind them for a few seconds. Yeah. Moose will fuck you up. Yeah, so I remember DM told me once he went out to throw trash in Alaska at his house, right? So he goes out, throws some trash, and apparently there's a moose standing like not that far away from him, and both him and the moose got scared and ran away. He ran into the house and the moose ran away. But those fucking things will fuck you up if you get aggressive with them. Like if they feel threatened. Fuck is this? This is Roger. Roger likes crushing his feed bucket at the Alice Springs Kangaroo Sanctuary. Do people eat kangaroos in Australia?
Oh yeah, they're delicious.
Oh, what does it taste like? Does everything taste like chicken?
No. They're a little bit more gamey. They're more like veal. Like very, very low fat content. They're really gamey, but it's delicious. It's a really, really good meat when it's prepared properly. It's kind of like
Yeah, like elk.
Yeah, it's
Or deer.
yeah, like elk. Yeah, elk or deer, where they're low fat, kind of gamey. And yeah, it's also super cheap because kangaroos are rodents, so they breed like rabbits. And you know, we have so many of them. So
That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. Anyways, I feel like we're just yapping and stalling for nothing. So what I'm going to do, boys, I'm going to wrap it up because I got to get prepped for some Tavern Talk preparation for tomorrow. So for those of you who don't know, we are going to have a Tavern Talk tomorrow, Darth and I, with Mark and Jonathan, which is happening at 2 p.m. PDT tomorrow, or 11 p.m. CEST. And till then, I will send you guys over to Diaz Lily. You guys give her a big warm welcome, and I will catch you guys on the Tavern Talk tomorrow, and we're gonna have a good time. But I got some stuff I gotta prep tonight, and mostly working on the Tavern Talk preparations. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys had fun watching the stream, a little yapping with Lolash, and we are both gonna be back on Sunday when we are actually going to start the preparations of PUBing and doing the build, starting with Spearwalker, then the Chonk. And for those of you who don't know what Chonk is, it's the Acolyte Shula. We'll be doing that. Our little list that we had looked like this. We're going from top to bottom, going through all of these builds starting on Sunday. So you guys give DS Lila a big one welcome. I'll see you guys on the podcast tomorrow. Till then, stay safe, keep rocking. Have a great fucking night. Peace.
bye, chat.
One minus a